the smoke. You flashing all the guns on your live, you a joke. Can't be posting up with parties and you never ever broke. I'll be pressing find a shooter who be lacking in the second.
كل نهار جديد يبعث معه أملاً جديداً لنرسم الرؤية ونصنع الإنجاز. كل نهار جديد يبعث أمجاد الأمس وطموح أمة تسابق الزمن بكل عزم وإصرار لأجل عمان اليوم غاية وهدف. منذ أكثر من 50 عاماً من جيل إلى جيل لأجل عمان الغد.
バリのタイヤ。
conditions on, if you want to call it. I can tell you now, you can see by the drone shot, a lot of rubber has gone down over the last 3 weeks here on this track, and trust me, a lot more is going to go down over the next 2 days. Yeah, we have 3 drivers representing 17 different countries here. Absolutely unbelievable. And the standard of driving in practice all day has just been absolutely amazing. I just sat in the grandstand for nearly an hour just enjoying the single runs. Now, you know, the best part of drifting is watching 2 cars go door and door, but some of the single runs we've seen today, it's just been a pleasure to watch. It's the best way of putting it. But yeah, all the drivers, you know, I had a good chat with a lot of drivers before. They're saying they're really feeling this layout. It's a fast entry with a big first pull all the way around that corner, and then of course the old favourite, we brought it back from last week. We put an inside clip on the wall, guys sticking the bumper of cars right in there as we see Abdullah. I was wondering what them sparks were getting towed off there. You see it just at the edge of the track, a recovery vehicle bringing them off. So hopefully for Abdullah, I know he was excited to be driving with some of the best drivers in the world, so hopefully it's not major. It's just something's after falling off the car. Maybe like I don't know, bolt could have snapped in an arm, and then that's what, you know, would have caused the sparks. But as per usual, I am just assuming, so don't listen to me. So we see Abdullah get recovered there, and we will line up for our next driver, and our next driver is Adel Sinson, representing the Philippines. It's a chat with this guy. Last weekend I had a good chat with him this evening. He's a veteran in the Philippine drifting, started all the way back in 2005, got the name Dr. Drift in 2009, and he is here on the grid this weekend with his daughter. Absolutely unbelievable, father and daughter on the grid. It's just a credit to both of them. But unfortunately, he's not in his own car. He's borrowed a car out here in Oman. Telling me all about it. It's a 1JZ, but it's 400 brake horsepower. He said it wasn't really running right the other day. They took it for a quick test, so he's done whatever he can. So yeah, what can Dr. Drift do as he sets off for his first ever qualifying live here in Muscat, Oman? As we see Dr. Drift Abdul on his way down now, throwing it in. Says he's underpowered, but like we say in Ireland, he's just going to absolutely pedal that 1JZ. Washing very wide there now, nearly over-rotating clip 2. What can he do to get it back online? As he flicks it back. No, it's just going all wrong, unfortunately, for Dr. Drift. And he kept asking me to call him Dr. Drift. He says that's what everyone in the Philippines knows him as. As we see him now flicking it in. Unfortunately, not putting on a clinic is the doctor. Maybe just getting it a small bit wrong. These forever changing track temperatures here possibly come into play, catching out on grips. He a little shake of the head. He knows he can do better than that. So yeah, what can Adul do later on in his second qualifying run? That's a nervous wait for him. He knows he might get a score on the board depending on how this goes. I don't think he put 4 wheels. I think it was just 2, but he was very wide there. And then yeah, from this point, just getting it all wrong. Look at that, nearly straight in the wheel. It's a 0 on his first run, unfortunately. So we will see him come back out with a lot of pressure on his second run, but such a nice guy. Absolute honour to be out here in Oman. Just loving the experience, especially with his daughter, and his 2 daughters are actually out here. There's a third one who's not driving this year, but I think the 3 of them are going to bring their own cars back next year, so I'm super excited to see that. Okay, so we're finished with the doctor. Now we're going on to Ashley Simpson, Daughter Drift, as she likes to be called, representing the Philippines, our only female driver. She is in a 180SX with an LS3 underneath the bonnet, 500 and something brake horsepower. How the daughter got more power than the daddy, I don't know, but let's see what Ashley can do as she comes down now, throwing it in a bit early and ending up too much on the inside of the track. I think nerves might be coming into play, unfortunately, for the daddy-daughter combination. As I was having a chat with them just before we went to qualifying, and both of them were just honoured to be on the grid with celebrities. And they were talking about people like James Dean, Benedictus Cherba, Sebastian Fonten, Ahmed Daham. So yeah, they're just honoured to be out here. The opportunity to drive in another country, trying to showcase Philippine drifting, and it's going to be exciting to see how they get on later on tonight with their second runs. But yeah, unfortunately, I think for daddy-daughter it's going to be 2 zeros, so it's going to be a bit of work to
bit of work to do later on the second run in qualifying, but you know, I think either way they are just so happy with the experience, and I really hope to see them back next year with their own cars, because let's be honest, you're only as comfortable unless you're in your own car. So yeah, we're going to head back to the line, and up next it should be Mohammed Al Musari, representing the UAE. Powers, like that. That's a cool name. So yeah, Mohammed gets ready to leave the line for his first qualifying run. How will he get on this very technical round 3 layout here at OIDC? Plenty of powers. We see him throwing it in nice and wide, doing a very good job through that first outer zone. This is exactly what the judges were asking in the driver's briefing now, as we see him a little bit early leaving clip 2, which means he has to straighten to avoid the wall. Starts to get it a small bit wrong on the first transition, but Mohammed doing a great job now as he puts foot to floor. Listen to the bangs of that Sylvia as he makes his way around the last corner, filling that outer zone. It's not a bad run. 1 or 2 little mistakes, but I'd say that's just nerves. All these guys going early on in competition haven't had a round yet, so it'll be interesting to see how they get on. As I say, just because you're going early doesn't mean you're not a good driver. So we watch the replay here, and a 65.65 for Mohammed Al Musari on his first run. So there's a score on the board, but he definitely will want to improve on that to guarantee himself safe for battle action tomorrow night. So we see an unbelievable drone shot off the track. It's crazy that our head judge Kieran Hines was able to get 3 different competition layouts out of the same track. It's just unbelievable. So yeah, we head back to line. It's Adil Yagub representing Pakistan. Another man. First round here at OIDC. He could only make it out for round 3 and is having the time of his life. Just happy beyond the grid with some of the best in the world. Just shows what an honour it is for a lot of these local guys. But yeah, very unfortunate for Adil, just flicking in a small bit too early. Bring them to the inside of the track. Does a good job now to get it back online, as we see him now coming through the inner clip. Ooh, big wash in that car there. It looked like he'd no grip whatsoever when he transitioned. And he nearly has to reinitiate to keep it going sideways. Not sure if this is nerves or what's going on, because I definitely seen Adil do some better runs in practice this morning. So he brings it over the line and finishes out his first qualifying run. Watch here now when he goes to transition. Just the whole thing looks like he loses grip. Look, he gets a score on the board, but it's a 13.7, so he definitely will have to improve on that to make himself safe for battle action tomorrow night. So yeah, we see Adil's replay, and then we head back to the line. Another guy making his first round here, making his first drive in OIDC around 3. It's the young guy representing Kuwait. It is Marzouk Al Mutari. Let's see what Marzouk can do. So you hear the V8 screaming in the bonnet. That E36 BMW putting foot to floor, not deep in his zone like the judges were asked. But this guy, not sure exactly what age he is, but he's definitely under the age of 18. So he's doing a great job. He's peddling this absolute beast. I was having a look at this car last night. I was well impressed by the spec of this car. And Marzouk now trying to control it, salvage wherever he can, trying to get out wide into that last outer zone. Not doing a bad job there now at the last corner as he brings it around and over the finish line. So yeah, Marzouk Al Mutari representing Kuwait. in his first ever qualifying run in OIDC. So it's a 47.3 for him. That's not a bad first run, but definitely room for improvement. He'll be going back to the pits, looking at the replay and realising where he can improve and what he can do. So really excited to see him now for his second run. As we head back to the line, and up next it is Hanbin representing China. This absolutely monstrous 180SX, crazy power, Jay-Z, exactly what you'd want when you're building a car. And let's see how Hanbin gets on as he throws it in nice and wide, hugging that outer line, filling zone 1, foot on the brakes to try and bring it in, washing a small bit wide there before 2, but does a good job to keep it on track. Snappy transition very early from Hanbin, as we see him now, red smoke tyres it seems like. Absolutely smoking the Muscat Drift Arena outfit as he transitions for the last time. And bringing that 180SX over the line. It's not a bad run from Hanbin. Definitely one or two little mistakes, but all in all doing a good job. Look at that from Hanbin. Absolutely snap transition, but just watching a small bit wide. But he gets a 49.3. It's an okay score, but there's definitely room for improvement from the Chinese driver. As we head back to the line, and it up next, it should be Jason Lim. Just waiting for Jason to come around the corner there now. Jason representing Malaysia. Another Nissan Silvia. As we wait for some of Hanbin's red clouds to disappear off the track. I didn't know you could even bring colour tyres to OIDC, but hey, it looks cool for qualifying. Putting on a show. That's all them guys, the Malaysian Chinese drivers. They're one big team down in the bottom corner of the pits. Lovely, lovely people, and they're just here to put on a show and entertain the local crowd. So we wait for Jason. Well, I'm thinking it's Jason. He's next in the list, but I have seen drivers not make it out for their allocated slot, and yeah, missing the first run. So let's see who will make it around the corner. Up next, still no car on the line. Not sure what's going on. Oh, there it is. Flicking around in the burnout box, getting some heat into them front and rear tyres. And yeah, it will be Jason Lim representing Malaysia, the first of our Malaysian drivers. Another 180SX. No, I think our graphic is possibly wrong there now, because definitely... No, we've no Jason Lim. My apologies, I'm only been informed. We've also no Samir Al-Bulshali. So up next, representing Malaysia, it is Anton Uthart. I'm not sure now if the guys are after swapping cars, if something's after happening. They're one team out there, the Malaysian guys, along with Hanbin. So we're just waiting for the graphic to correct itself. Okay, so number 35 is Anson, so we're going to go with Anson's driving his own car. Oh, looking like something's wrong with that car there now. Maybe down on power or a boost pipe or something's after popping off. Not 100% sure what's after happening there, but you see that car, it looks like it's severely down on power. Anson doing whatever he can to try and hold it out and get some points on the board just to get his first run, a scored run, and then him, the team, can work hard between the first and second run. Big handbrake drag at the start there, not what the judges want to see, especially that second one there. So yeah, looking like Anson is completely down on power. So yeah, it's a 0. It is too many straightens there for Anson. So another driver there now with a good bit of work to do. Oh, the big snap before the finish line. You want to be careful with that. You want to get that car on angle over the line, not snap back, because it could come across to our judges. That's a drift in the opposite directions, which would indicate a 0. So yeah, I'm just trying to look in there now to the top corner, see who is up next, just so we're all on the same page. Okay, so we see car in the burnout box. Are we still in the correct order, or is there a few more gaps in the system? So we see the beautiful drone shot there. Okay, up next it is Mohammed Khurshid. It's absolutely insane S14. The bangs of this thing when it was out on track earlier on today, absolute weapon of a car. So let's see what Mohammed can do on his first run, throwing it in nice and wide, getting out to zone 1 as we see him now smoking the Muscat Drift Arena out of it, tucking in lovely onto that front clip. That's a nice job here for Mohammed. Not as deep into outer zone 2 as we like to see, but doing a good job here now, keeping that car sideways and just trying to get a score on the board. So we see him now coming back into his own smoke and bringing it over the line. So you see there now, the first zone, you know, at the start of it, he wasn't as deep as Mohammed, but from here now he starts to do a good job here. Look at that, right in tight on the inner clip. Transitioning a bit too shallow, which didn't let him get as deep in the outer zone 2, but all in all is not a bad run for your first run here. Nerves always come into play when you're the first 2 guys. You know you're kicking off the show, you know everyone's watching. So yeah, Mohammed with a small bit of work to do on his second run, but do we have a score for Mohammed? Just waiting for that to drop in. I'm not sure who's in the burnout box, but wow, it sounds absolutely amazing. So a 58 for Mohammed Kansour was a decent score, but room for improvement. There it is, it popped up very fast there, so we're going to give him the same time as everyone else. So we move back to the start line. We do the 370Z of Zahar Al-Shahaksi. Let's see how Zahar gets on. The first of Omani drivers making their way out for their first qualifying run. Absolute bang underneath that 370s. He throws it in wide, deep, clips the barrier and stays out of it, having to spin out from going into the bottom wall. Zahar probably like, oh no, I seen what happened out here last week. I am not going into that wall. So we will assume that will be a 0 because he incompleted that first run before the graphic comes up. So Zahar, another driver on a 0 after the first run. A lot of work to do. And in fairness, Zahar is a good driver. I've seen him do some decent runs today in practice, so I'll be rooting on for him. Want to see the local drivers doing well here. All the Omani guys are so nice, are so helpful to all the international drivers and the guests like myself, judges, people like that, just telling us things to do, you know, in the downtime in between the rounds. We've been out here for, this is week number 3 now, and trust me, the stuff all our local guys have sent us to go see has been absolutely amazing. I even seen some camels in the desert yesterday, and I was going up some dunes on a quad, so you know, I won't really argue with that. So yeah, rooting for Zahar on his second run. As we move back to the start line, it is the young man that is Khalifa Al Fahasi, representing the UAE in a borrowed car, borrowed from Danny Neville. Danny, an absolute legend in Middle Eastern drifting, superstar DJ of course. So Danny giving young Khalifa a lend of the car for the last round, and Khalifa put full wrap on us. We're like, hey, we might as well come back and do the third run. So Khalifa, his first ever competition in Oman last week, qualified 32nd, scraped in, and got what everyone on the grid really wanted, was to battle James Dean. He battled James Dean in the top 32 and loved every moment of it. So yeah, we know this car has had some gremlins today. Khalifa not getting much practice in. Car getting a lot of work done, and I seen a lot of people around working on it tirelessly. So let's see, is the car going to play ball, and can the young man from the UAE get qualifying for the second round here at OIDC? His second time ever driving outside the UAE. No, he shuts it down. That car obviously not playing ball for young Khalifa. Very, very unfortunate, because he is a brilliant little driver. He is definitely one to watch for a future star in Middle Eastern drifting. But yeah, maybe he's just a smart kid. No, look, it's not my car. I'm not going to absolutely send it here and blow up or do any critical damage to Danny Neville's car. So hopefully Khalifa and his team can get that sorted and get back out for the second runs here in qualifying tonight. Okay, so from young Khalifa we should move on, and it should be Fahad Al Jihadi representing Kuwait. Now I am jumping the gun, I need to see the car to confirm that's them, but that's who's scheduled on my list. So we see it is Fahad in this PS13 V8. Brilliant car. Made that trip down for round 2 last week. Stuck around here. Was with us on the street parade earlier in the week, and now here he is going for qualifying on round 3, the final round of OIDC. And look at this from Fahad. That was a very fast first corner, as we see him tucking the nose of that S13 right up on the wall. Doing a great job here now is the Kuwaiti driver. Flicking back, not as deep as the judges would like to see him there, but he gets out wide, and that middle section just catching him out. Maybe carrying a bit too much pace, which sent him wide as he brings it over the line. He was that fast, our cameraman could barely even follow him. Look at this for a first corner, absolutely foot to floor, doing a great job. But then, yeah, just through the middle section here, Fahad getting it all wrong, but he does get a score on the board. It's a 36.7. It's not a 0, but definitely room for improvement. Okay, so we're heading back to the start line. I can hear something very, very loud. And it is the S15 of Daniel Maximoff. Absolutely crazy car, and yes, they are genuine headlights in the front of this drift car. I was talking to him earlier in the week, and the only thing I could say was, like, you feeling alright? Like, do you know how much they're worth? He just smiled and said, yep. So credit's due. So Let's see what Daniel can do. Steering issues last week in that S15. Have him and the team got it sorted. Throwing it in, entering very early, bringing himself to the inside of the track. Now he puts the foot down. Look at the power of that car. As soon as he puts the foot in, you can see the rear wheel is absolutely spinning. I think at this moment, Daniel looks like he's a passenger. He transitions for the wall, not entertaining the wall, probably minding the taillights as well. It's absolutely monstrous S15. He brings it over the line. Wow. Even trying to stop that thing drifting, that looks like a handful of a car to drive. All the power and just not getting the grip down the way Daniel would like it. So let's see what way the judges will score him. They'll score him at 20, very, very low, but look, it's a score on the board. He can look back on the replay of his first run and figure out where it all went wrong and what he can do to improve it. You see Daniel, yeah, very shallow, absolutely everywhere, not getting clips, not getting the zones, just kind of getting from A to B and holding on and just happy to survive, it looks like. So we will see him come back out for his second run later on tonight. Okay, we move back to the line now. It is Wokas Al-Bulshali representing Oman, the only man in a Ford Mustang, and this thing is insane. When he's driving, it just squats so much. Like, ridiculous amount of squat in this car. Watching him early in practice, Wokas doing a good job now trying to tame the beast around this tricky technical round tree layout here in the Muscat Drift Arena. So what can Wokas do for his first qualifying run, as we see him now nearly drifting out of chicane. Looked like he missed the gear, got it to where it's meant to be, initiates on time though, getting that car in the right place. Maybe just that little misshift working out in Wokas' favour, as we see him now coming through the inner clip, not as tight to the wall as the judges want him. But Wokas now doing whatever he can to salvage the rest of this run, putting a decent score on the board. See a big transition back, huge handbrake drag there just to keep that car out wide. So he fills the last outer zone, bringing it over the finish line. There you have it. Wokas representing Oman, another local driver here. And a 48 for Wokas. Score on the board, but yet again, another driver that might have a bit of work to do on his second run. Getting in the clips, but maybe not getting as deep as the judges would like it. Your staff, that's, I don't know what you'd call it, it's a bounce nearly. It looked like he's dribbling the back of the car around the last corner there. Not sure if it's meant to do that, if he wants to do that, or if that's even helping him, but look, everyone to their own. That's the unique thing about drifting. There is no formula. It's just whatever you can make work. Okay, up next, representing Sweden, it is Andreas Lilja. Andreas had a very tough time here in Oman the last two rounds. He's had steering problem around 1, wastegate problem around 2, got that sorted. Car was flying this morning, and then I seen him come in the pits and change the steering rack again. So steering problems coming back for that Mark IV Supra. So what can the Swedish driver do? Looking like he's got the problem solved, or does he? As we see Andreas thrown in very wide. Looked like 4 wheels off to me, not 100% sure, but he did a great job not to go into them water barriers. I think after watching last week, every time someone goes towards them barriers, I clench just for the drivers, because that was some heavy hits last week. But yeah, Andreas now doing whatever he can in the rest of this run. It possibly could be 4 wheels off in the first corner, which would mean a 0, but look, you're not going to assume when you're in the driver's seat you're going to finish the run out to the best of your ability, and wait and see what score drops in from the judges. Andreas, such a nice guy. Yeah, that's a 4 wheels off. That's a 0 for Andreas. A lot of work to do for the Swedish driver on his second run. So really rooting for him. That car not playing ball since it arrived to Oman, and you know, I've followed Andreas on social media for a while now. He is well able to drive that Mark IV Supra. So it's just a shame when the guys come all the way out to Oman, you know, put the car in the container before Christmas, come out here for 3 weeks, and the car just doesn't play ball. Not much time to really work on it. You know, we only have 7 days in between each round, but him and his team working tirelessly in the pits to try and get that thing sorted. So hopefully they can get it fixed up and ready to go for the second qualifying run. Okay, so up next we have Damir Idatulian in his GT86. Absolutely insane car. Damir had a good round last time, nearly Brett James Dean. Only one tiny little crucial mistake in his lead run where he crossed the white dotted line, which you're not meant to do, but we'll get more into that tomorrow night. That's a battle thing, not a qualifying thing, as we see Damir now putting the foot down. Absolutely weapon of a car. Had engine failure at round 1. Him and the team got it back for round 2. Now it looks like they have this GT86 absolutely singing, as we see Damir now coming out, getting ready to transition along the wall. Now doing a nice job so far. Good first run, but that is only my impression. I'm a commentator. I'm like you guys at home. I just get excited at good driving. So it's the 3 guys that are upstairs that are actually judging, and they have all the criteria that was given to these drivers in the driver's briefing on how to score maximum points. So it'll be interesting to see maybe Damir a little bit shallow there through the first half of zone 1, and yeah, not a bad first run. So can't wait to see what way the judges will score this. And they score it a 70. A 70 is not bad for your first run. Damir doing a good job, so we'll be safe, giving him that small bit of a cushion to say, do you know what, I can push a bit harder and do something a bit wilder on my second run to try and get higher up that bracket. As we head back to the start line. Up next, on paper, it is meant to be Victor Jansu, the first of our Swedish drift brothers, in these absolutely insane E92 M3s. Yes, it is Victor. I always get nervous when I say the name, and I'm like, oh, please come around the corner. So yeah, Victor Jansu, first for a Swedish drift brother. What can Victor do? His first qualifying run here at the last round of OIDC 2024, the 6th season of OIDC, 6 years the Oman International Drift Championships going on, and what 6 years they've been. Absolutely amazing, as we see Victor throwing it in nice, absolutely smoking that first corner out of it, doing a good job now putting the front bumper right on that wall as he transitions for the first time, filling outer zone 2. Absolutely lovely. This is a great job from Victor. As we see him now flicking back, transitioning for the last time as he puts foot to floor, filling that last outer zone. Look at the smoke bellowing out the back of that BMW as he comes over the finish line. He's going to be delighted with that one. That is not Victor's replay, that is Damir has the replay before it. If you think that GT86 is belong to a Swedish drift brother, you are wrong. But Victor Jansu gets a 76.7 on his first run, so he is going to be delighted with that. Actually, having the Swedish drift brothers in the house in Oman, guys, first time out here, and they are absolutely loving it, becoming new fan favourites. The other night at the parade night autograph session, they had some queues at their table, and why wouldn't they? Two of the nicest guys on the grid, as now we see Victor's replay. So yeah, 76 for Victor, 76.7 for Victor. should be a nice little cushion after your first run. So we will see how he gets on in the second run. But we're going to move back to the start line. It is Hussein Misselani, C6 Corvette. Hussein representing Lebanon. Talking to him this morning, he's really struggling with steering issues the last 2 rounds in his car. Doesn't know what it is. Thought it was steering racks for a while. Now he thinks it's just a lock kit or something. Not 100% sure, but Hussein doing whatever he can now to try and get a score on the board. He said if he can qualify tonight, he'll stay up all night to work on this car. Well, Hussein, from my angle, buddy, this thing looks to be working, because he is absolutely killing it. Maybe leaving outer zone 2 a small bit earlier, as we see him now transitioning out for the wall. Nice transition from Hussein. Oh, I don't know what that was. It was a big backfire and the whole car jumped as he comes around the last corner. It's not a bad run until the end. Watch the start of this Hussein. This man maybe just telling me some lies beforehand, saying the steering's not working. Look, doing a great job there. Hussein jumping from that E46 chassis last year into the C6 Corvette, trying to figure it out, trying to learn it in front of our eyes in competition. Well, he scores a 69 on his first run. That is not a bad first run for Hussein. 1 or 2 little issues, but Hussein is a well-experienced driver, drifting a long time now, and be interesting to see what he does in his second run here at round 3 of OIDC. Okay, so we're going to move back to the start line. On paper, I'm going to keep saying this because, never mind, it is the 350Z of Robert Babagulian. What can Robert do on his first qualifying run here? Want to get a good score on the board. So gives them a little confidence booster so he can push, use it nearly the whole way to the track to flick it in. I respect that big commitment from Robert, as we see him now coming through zone 1. Getting lovely out to clip 2, tucking into the inside clip 3. This is not a bad run from Robert Bagulian. Filling outer zone 2, coming around, transitioning for the wall. I was hoping to be a lot deeper on the wall. Still gets in the clip though, you know. I'm sure Robert's going to be playing a safe lap for his first qualifying run here, but yeah, that is in total a good lap from Robert Babagulian. So a 64 for Robert on his first run. We'll see him nice and comfortable and allow him to push a little bit harder and faster in the second run. Robert, a serious driver in that 350Z, so I'm excited to see what he's going to do, and really excited to see him in battle action tomorrow night, the final round of OIDC. Cannot believe I'm saying that. These 3 weeks have absolutely flown by. This season has been absolutely amazing. We have seen it all. Big fires, big crashes. I don't know how many things have went viral. Just clips of this championship this year, and that's exactly what we expect from the Oman International Drift Championship. So if this is what season 6 is, I cannot wait to see what season 7 brings. And all I say is I really hope I'm a part of it, because season 6 has just been amazing. But hey, we're talking about it like it's over. It's still night 1, first round of qualifying. Up next we have, representing Lebanon, my apologies, it is Ehab Falba. Ehab in this insane, and I mean insane, E46. Look at this yoke throwing it in. Bought this car at the end of last season, did a lot of practicing over the off season, which would have been last summer in it, and Ehab is gelling so well. I had a good chat with him this morning, and he's just a guy I really enjoy watching drive in the battles. He comes alive in the battles, absolutely adoring everyone. But in qualifying tonight for a first run, Ehab doing a great job putting the back of that BMW lovely and wide out to the wall, filling that last outer zone. This is not a bad run from Ehab as he brings it over the line, not having a repeat of last week where Ehab unfortunately ended the run before the finish line. And I mean, just a couple of metres before the finish line. He thought he'd crossed it, and no, he didn't, which resulted in his score that would have been a high 90, turned into a 0. But this week, we all made a joke and briefing, make sure Ehab knows where the finish line is. He was well up for the laugh. But yeah, Ehab scoring a 79.3. Good first run, so another guy now that can push harder on his second run. So good job from Ehab. As we see the drone shot revealing our next car, it is the local man. It is Riyad Mipsali. It is the second Mark IV Toyota Supra on the grid this weekend, and Riyad is a guy who has made some impression on me this season. Round 1, unbelievable. Round 2, unbelievable. Let's see what he can do at round 3. This guy's chase driving has just been absolutely insane. But to see him chase, we first have to see him qualify, as we see Riyad throwing it in, getting it all wrong. Oh, commentators curse Mike. Why did you say that out loud? Something went wrong. That car looked like it lost power, drive. I don't know if it's a diff. Sometimes drivers can just accidentally hit the kill switch when they go for the handbrake. Watch here, he flicks it in, just nothing. Steering wheel even said straight from first half of that corner. So very unfortunate for Riyad, and actually I'm shocked over that. A guy I would have expected to do well in qualifying tonight, and he is on a 0 after his first run. So good bit of work to do, but trust me, if it's anything, if his driving's at like round 1 and 2, we will see Riyad push hard on the second run. There'll be no safe runs with Riyad. He will be doing absolutely anything he can to secure a spot in top 32 battle action tomorrow night. Yeah, we're going to head back to the start line. It is another Malaysian driver, the legend that is Bullseye. Such a nice guy. Told me tonight this is his 4th year in OIDC, so out of 6 years he's been here 4. Loves it, and just says he always wants to keep coming back. He says just coming over here and driving with the best drivers in the world, it's the only way you're going to improve your skill, and he thinks this is like the recipe for his off season, is coming out here, tandeming with some of the best drivers, and then push. Look at that smile. This man's going to qualify, and he's smiling. For our entertainment, make sure everyone knows Bullseye is, you know, cool, calm, and collective, and ready to go. So yeah, Bullseye leaves the line for his first qualifying run. What can the Malaysian driver do as he throws it in nice and early? Listen to the bang of that S15, maybe coming on power a small bit too early, but Bullseye doing a great job getting that car out of clip 2 onto the inside clip 3, flicking back now for outer zone 2. This is a good run so far from Bullseye as we see him transitioning for the last time. No fear of that wall whatsoever. Oh, big handbrake drag there coming into the zone just to make sure to keep that S15 on the circuit, and Bullseye brings it over the line for his first qualifying run. And a 63.7 for Bullseye. Gives him a good base after his first run, and something to work on for his second. Look at that wall run. Absolutely no fear whatsoever. Just throwing that S15 out there. Bullseye, we might as well call him the veteran of OIDC. He's been out here that long. As we see a drone shot of the grid, and Bullseye there pulling back into his pit area. Still some phenomenal drivers to go, so we will lots more entertainment to come. But up next it is Salam Ar Saharf representing Kuwait, jumping out of the 350 chassis last year into the S15. Just said it's an unbelievable difference. So you know what, you can really see it in his driving. The man is just on a mission this year, so I'm excited to see what he can do. Look at that lovely first corner as he puts foot to floor now. Look, so wide through the outer zone, so tight on the inner zone. This is a good run so far for Salam as we see him now filling outer zone 2. Absolutely lovely. Flicking back for the last time. Oh, not as deep on the wall. Not sure what happened there. Maybe it's just me praising them. Commentator's curse is a thing. And I apologise if it was my fault. But yeah, Salam bringing that car over the line. All in all, it's not a bad run. Maybe one or two little mistakes, but nothing he won't be able to improve on for his second run. So a 77.3 is a score on the board. He will be happy with that. Okay, up next, I can hear him in the burnout box. From my commentary booth, which is inside, the floor is vibrating. It's the bazooka. It is the first of our Shahani brothers. It is Ali Al-Shahani. This thing. Every round, this car just blows my mind. It's a rolling burnout machine. It looks like it's like at this point now it goes to Ali. The 15 goes, right, Ali, I've got it from here. You just hang on. Because this car is bringing the driver for a spin around the track. Let's see how Ali will get on. Will he do his signature slowest chicane ever and a huge rolling burnout? Or will he be able to master the chicane here at round 3? So, just wait for a bit of smoke to clear. And away we go, sending the bazooka off the line. Nice speed through chicane, to be fair, but here's the signature rolling burnout. The car is just singing, heading down the road, going, driver, hold on. So what can Ali do? Washing a small bit wide there now through the first zone. So he tries to get some of the grip down. Big handbrake drag on a full throttle part of the track to keep him somewhat on line. But yeah, coming around that last outer zone, transitioning. Ali getting the clips here, but maybe not getting as deep as the judges would like. So we see him now coming around the last corner and over the finish line. That thing is a monster. Just a monster, that's what that is. Look at that. You can see the rolling burnout the whole way up, even the gear changes. Double handbrake on initiation to try and settle that car. A 63 for Ali Al-Shahani. So what will he be able to do to improve on that? And the second run. As we see the finish of the bazooka's first run there. And we're going to flick it back to the start line, where it should be the second of our Swedish Drift brothers. It is Linus Jansu. Linus in an identical car, E92 M3, as his brother Victor. And Linus, as I've said many times before, and I told it to him and he absolutely loved it, 100% the best beard on the grid. The standard of beard from this guy is just through the roof. Such a nice guy. I've had a good time getting to know both the Swedish Drift brothers over the past couple of weeks out here in Oman. So yeah, let's see what Linus can do on his first qualifying run as he throws it in. Nice job there through zone 1. As we see him now bringing it around, getting ready for that inside clip, putting the front bumper right on the wall. Absolutely no fear of that concrete wall from Linus as he transitions, bringing the car out on 2, flicks back for the wall, back of the car out to the wall. Look at this. This is a good run from Linus. Can he hold it there? Maybe just pushing one wheel a small bit wide on the last zone, but Linus bringing it over the line. Wow. Absolutely amazing. What a run. Such nice guys, these Swedish Drift brothers. It's kind of the thing I love about the OIDC, especially for us international guests, commentators, judges included. We're all out here for 3 weeks. We're in the same hotel, getting to know each other. But a 62.3 from Linus gets him a nice, comfortable score after the first run, so he will be able to push that bit harder. And it's going to be interesting to see what he's going to do on his second run. But we're heading back to the start line. We're starting to get down to the nitty gritty, the top half of the championship. Up next, on paper, it is Dennis Miguel. So, Dennis has 2 cars here today, okay? You know, he has a C6 Corvette, but he also has this absolutely insane E46 that he was driving last year. I seen the 46 coming into the paddock in the middle of the day, and I was a bit like, oh, but he's rocking to the line in the old Corvette. He's like, nah, I'm after doing 2 rounds in the Corvette. 1 more won't kill me. Trust me, that fully in carbon Kevlar E46 he has as a spare car is as crazy as this Corvette, but trust me, this Corvette is not one to be overlooked. A well famous car in Middle Eastern drifting. It is now belonging to Dennis as we see him coming around, bringing the nose of that Corvette right into the wall. So he puts foot to floor, just doing whatever he can to try and get his maximum points. Maybe leaving some clips and zones a small bit early. But I'm not sure even why they were considering. I know that car was up, it was jacked up, they were at the steering angle kit of it this morning. So maybe that's why precautions are like, you know what, bring over the second car and we might do a run or 2 and see. But obviously Dennis going to drive the C6 tonight, so 56 on the board, definitely room for improvement, but not the worst run we've seen so far tonight. So yeah, Dennis did a great job last week here at OIDC round 2, so yeah, expecting big things. A lot of these guys, you know, they don't like qualifying, they prefer the battles. That's where drivers come alive, is in battle action. So this whole qualifying thing, it's just a process really to get into battle action where they can show their real skills and talent. So we'll have to wait and see if Dennis makes it into battle action tomorrow night. But you can see there in the burnout box, it is the second of our Al Shahani brothers, the local Omani guys. Tariq Al Shahani, insane V8 BMW. I always say when he's in the burnout box, I'm pretty sure that man does about a half a set of tyres in the burnout box. He looks like he's just having so much fun there, so definitely having some heat in the car. You can see the smile in the helmet from Tariq as he gets ready to leave the line for his first qualified run here at round 3. Look at this, like his brother Ali, just doing a rolling burnout the whole way up, throwing it in lovely and wide, maybe a bit too wide on that yellow line, coming through zone 1. So we see him now putting the foot down, bringing the nose of the car right to the inside clip, transitioning out wide just like the judges asked in driver's briefing this morning. And Tariq now doing whatever he can to get maximum points on this first qualifying run. As he comes through the last outer zone and brings it over the line. Wow, look at the smoke from that 180 SX, absolutely insane. Makes it even crazier that he only had one headlight working for half of that run, so I'm not sure what wire coming loose or something there, but it was kind of cool. Light goes out and then the light comes back on towards the end. Maybe it's something with the Al Shahani brothers. There's the light back on now. Brilliant. That's some technical driving there, flicking one light on and off. Nice. Tariq, yeah, unbelievable driver. 75.5 in his first run. He'll be happy with that, and a nice confidence builder going into run 2 of qualifying. Okay, we're going back to the start line. Up next, it is Mohammed Siab. Mohammed representing Lebanon. As he gets ready to head off for his first qualifying run. The old nervous dab of the handbrake, we all do it before we leave the line. If we see huge flick from Mohammed, massive aggressive, maybe getting a small bit too early, ended up a bit on the inside of the track. Look at the flames shooting from the bonnet of that BMW as he puts the front bumper right on the wall. Lovely job there from Mohammed. He shows no fear whatsoever of this round 3 layout. Big flick back for the wall. Nice and deep into the clips. As he comes through the last outer zone and brings it over the finish line. Nice run. Watch this snap, like such an aggressive initiation. Maybe just a tiny bit early coming onto the power, which pulled him to the inside of the track. But a 69.7 on his first run, he's going to be happy with that. We will see him back out later on tonight for his second qualifying run. As we head back to the line, up next, it's a man who had a very hard round 2. And when the car comes around the corner, you will understand how hard of a round 2 he had. It is Samir Sabah, E36 BMW. Samir had a huge impact in his top 32 battle heading into the wall. Got the car back out, but just it was not driving right. No brakes when he left the line. This just failed. So he told me in a pre-interview before qualifying tonight, he's like, it's a bit of a Frankenstein. He's like, I've borrowed panels off everyone that has a Beamer, and yeah, it's driving, that's all that matters. And my answer to it was, drifting is no beauty competition. Okay, we like the cars to look nice, but it's all about the driving. And trust me, Samir is a great driver. As we see a huge aggression flick, throwing it in wild for the first corner. We see him now absolutely smoking this Muscat Drift Arena outfit, no fear at all of putting the front of that E36 BMW on the wall. As we see him now bring it out. Can he transition to the rear of the wall? Not getting as deep on the clip, possibly getting lost in his own smoke from the first corner. See him now bringing around the last corner and over the line. Trust me, go back and watch last week's top 32. You will understand what a hard night that poor little Beamer had. So I'm just happy to see Samir back out on the circuit, putting it down for last round here of OIDC. Just looking at this, absolute wild whips. But yeah, 47.7, definitely room for improvement from Samir. We will see him back out for his second run later on tonight. Okay, up next it is the R32 Skyline of the Irishman, that is Chris Brady. RB25 underneath the bonnet. Chris has had a tough morning. Got some parts late last night, got them fitted, a trigger sensor sent from Ireland. Look at him giving the old scan, as we like to call it in Ireland there to the camera. But yeah, got the sensor fitted last night, everything was going grand. Started the car this morning and it just cut out. And there was big panic in the Irish pits down there. Ahmed the Hams tuner was down with the laptop helping the guys out. Chris Brady's own tuner, Richard Bradley in Ireland, was getting phone calls at 7 o'clock in the morning Irish time saying, hey, are you awake by any chance? We need your help. But that R32 is singing. Listen to the RB screaming as Chris Brady throws it in for his first qualifying run. Getting lovely and wide as Chris Brady bringing it around now, putting foot to floor, absolutely smoking this Muscat Drift Arena out of it. And look at this from Chris Brady, the absolute bravery of putting that front bumper on the wall, as we see him now filling outer zone 2 as he comes back around the transition for the wall run for the second time. The Irishman showing no fear of them concrete walls, putting foot to floor. This is not a bad run from Chris Brady, especially after the morning he had. He's only had 2 runs in practice and he was happy after that. Said, I'm afraid that something might happen, just leave it alone. So yeah, absolutely delighted for Chris Brady there, throwing it in wild on initiation. Be interesting to see. And an 80 on his first run. That is a well-deserved 80. Him and all his guys, his sponsor flew some mechanics out yesterday just to give him a hand for this last round and make sure Chris can do anything he can to keep that car going for his last round here in Oman. So yeah, absolutely insane driving from the Irishman. He's going to be delighted with that one. as we head back to the start line. And up next, you can see it's on the Marshall's hat. If that's not a sign who it is, I don't know what is. This man had a tough round 2. Possibly one of the biggest accidents I've ever seen in drifting. Him and James Dean had, both these cars have some work done this week. Haitham Al Haididi offered up his garage 300 performance there. So look, James, Ali, get your cars down there, get them fixed, get back for the last round. So the spirit of drifting worldwide coming together. Ali McSpeed representing Kuwait. We're just so happy he's back on the grid. We're so happy that car. I was talking to him last night. He told me it's not 100%. He's like, they've put a lot of plasters on a lot of things to get it here for tonight, but he was happy with how it was working. So let's see what Ali McSpeed can do on his first qualifying run. You can hear the anti-lag screaming. He's a man with a point to prove, and he's doing a lovely job showing no fear. You would not think that this GTA 6 was in one of the biggest wrecks I've ever seen last week. But Ali, an absolute unbelievable driver, our 2023 Oman Drift champion, and he's just doing this round to prove a point. He said, oh, huge one run from Ali as he flicks it back. He told me earlier on today, he was like, I've a mission. I'm just on a mission this weekend. This is the last round and I'm going to send it. And send it is exactly what he did. A great run there from Ali McSpeed. Absolutely delighted that him and James Dean were both okay after a huge collision in the semi-final last week here. And an 83 from Ali. That is a very, very good run. So, yeah, we will be definitely sure we will see him in battle action tomorrow night. But he's got one more run to put it all on the line for our entertainment, and I cannot wait to see. I think both Ali and James both have a point to prove after what happened last week, and you know, we don't like seeing that happen to anyone. We don't see anyone's cars leave in the condition both them cars left, so it's a credit to their teams, everyone that helped out and get them back here today. Okay, up next it is the crazy man, Hazza Al Husani, representing the UAE in this absolutely monstrous S14. Boss front, fully carbon body, absolutely everything's carbon on this. Look around it, it's just all carbon. Hazza, one of the nicest guys on the grid, and trust me, he is a wild man behind the steering wheel of that S14. All he said to me last night was, you thought you heard the limiter in the last round. He said, wait to hear the limiter tonight. So I'm excited for this run. Hazza making a trip from Dubai, going to put it literally all on the line for our entertainment, making this V8 scream. The S14, as we just wait for some of Ali McSpeed's smoke to clear. Marshall gives Hazza the thumbs up, and away he goes. Been saying it for the last 2 rounds, you should never go full Hazza. Well, it's the final Hazza. Go full Hazza, my friend. As we see him throwing it in, look at this from Hazza. Absolutely smoking them rear tyres off at the speed of this man as he brings it around now, flicking back. Absolutely insane pace from this car. Look at this, and Hazza's on a beautiful line, throwing the back of that car right out to the wall, showing no fear whatsoever of them concrete blocks as he comes around the last corner. Can't even see him, there's that much smoke on the track. 100% went full Hazza. Look, he doesn't even lift as he's going into the pits, he's still spinning wheels. Oh, he told me he was going to do something special, and if that wasn't it, then I can't wait to see his second run. But yeah, brilliant run there from Hazza, and 87 on the board after his first run. That means the young man from the UAE is going to push hard on his second run, so definitely one I am looking forward to seeing. And Hazza, one of these drivers that just comes alive in battles, so we will be very, very confident we will see him in battle action tomorrow night. So yeah, look at this, he comes over the finish line, sparks, flames, everything, he just keeps it pinned, no problem at all. Okay, we're going to head back to the start line, representing the Netherlands. It's a guy that needs no introduction. It is Mr. Sebastian Fonten. Sebastian Fonten, the Dutch driver, European legend, absolutely killing it this year in OIDC. Had to bow out due to mechanical failure. He broke a shaft last time and just didn't get back out. So yeah, we're all rooting for Sebastian tonight. He says this weekend, like everyone else taught me, I've nothing to lose. He's like, I've nothing to lose. The car's going into a container and heading back to Europe there now on Sunday, so let's just send it. Sebastian, the only man who brings Japanese flair in a German chassis. BMW, Jay-Z. What can Seb do as he leaves the line for his first qualifying run? Look at that, throwing it in a huge angle is Sebastian Fonten, putting the back wheel right on that outer line. This is exactly what we were expecting to see. Pinpoint accuracy from the Dutch driver as he transitions back, filling them outer zones. Absolutely lovely. We can see the concentration through the helmet on the face. Sebastian Fonten as he puts the back of the car right out on the wall, filling that last outer zone. Oh, I think this is going to be a high scoring run. You couldn't even see him come over the finish line. He just came through his own smoke there. Absolutely insane. Look at this. Sebastian loving them backwards entries. Love to throw it in wild. And yeah, he's a commentator. I'm sure you guys as fans, we all love watching this. And a 92 from the Dutchman. See Sebastian Fonten, the first guy to join the cool kids and hit up that 90s club. And I do not think he's going to be alone, because the standard of drivers that are still to come in the first half of qualifying can easily do it. But yeah, Sebastian Fonten putting on a masterclass. I'm super excited to see that shot there coming through the clouds at the end. That's unbelievable. The marshals like, yeah, Sebastian just threw it backwards on his first run in qualifying. He didn't even do a safe one. Well, lads, knowing Sebastian, that probably was a safe one, and he's going to do something wild on the next one. Okay, so we're back on the start line. Up next, it is Benediktas Čerba, representing Lithuania, the Čerba fighter. I seen Čerba do 2 runs in practice today. Just the way it worked out, I didn't really see much of on track. But the 2 runs I said, the only word I could say was fast. Very fast. So I am excited to see what Čerba is going to do on his first run. Veteran European drifting. Look at this, throwing it in big angle, foot to floor, filling the outer zone. That is exactly what we expected from Benediktas Čerba, as we see him now bring it to the inside clip. Čerba doing a great job now. Look at that, hugging the outer line of that last zone as he flicks now, transitioning for the last time, bringing it so wide, smoking the Muscat Arena out of it and bringing it over the line. Unbelievable run there from Benediktas Čerba. I kind of feel sorry for our live stream crew, because they have to follow these guys and they're like, what? They're so fast. Well, that's the standard of driving that you get here in the OIDC. We are obviously running qualifying tonight in an 86 for Čerba on his first run, so he is going to be delighted with that, but he's definitely going to be pushing harder to get himself up into that 90s club. But yeah, we are running the reverse championship order in qualifying, so the further we get down, we see these guys the highest, and we are coming into the top 10 drivers. And just looking at it, like, it's like a fantasy grid, the top 10 drivers here. Absolutely insane. As we see my co-commentators outside having a time of their life, these guys doing whatever they can. I can see my other live stream partner Grinya waving in the corner, bringing it in there from his own stream. No one can see Mike because I'm over in the far side. I'll put my hand in the air anyways, but they won't see me. It's alright, they're all sick of seeing me. But yeah, absolute brilliant run there from Benediktas Čerba. And we're going to move it back to a guy that literally can do it all. It is Nick Nack, the wonder kid from Latvia. Absolute insane driver for his age. He's like years of experience. He's more experienced probably than he's on this planet. So let's see what Nick Nack can do as he leaves the line. Look at this. It's going to be a wild flick. Nick Nack throwing it in there. Not getting as deep in outer zone 1 as he'd like to. But he's doing a great job now as he bringing it around, putting the front bumper right on that concrete wall. Lovely job from Nick Nack. As we see him smoking, and rear tyres bringing around, transitioning for the last time, back of the car, out to the wall. Exactly what we expect from the young Latvian driver as he brings it around the last corner and over the line. You can just see the further we get down this the further we get down the order here, the speed is just picking up. Some of these drivers are carrying absolutely insane pace around the corner. It's credit to them and their cars. And it's an 85.7 from Nick Nack. That's a good first safe run, which will allow the young guy push hard on his second one. And I, for one, am really excited to see that. As we see some of the fans here in attendance having a time in their life, and this is only qualifying night. Main night is tomorrow night and this place is sold out. I cannot wait to see the crowds we have got this year at OITC. Have been amazing. But speaking of amazing, look at this car pulling on the line. It is the monster of Nazar Harbali, the young man from El Salvador. Yeah, come on, Nazar's just fully carbon, 180, boss front, V8, insane, an insane driver. Every time he hits the track he nearly goes viral. So what's he going to do this weekend? As we see Nazar throwing it in, doing whatever he can, getting a great, the screams of this car as he brings it right onto the inside corner, doing whatever he can possibly get as many points on the board all the way around. The bangs of that car as he comes up to the wall for the last time. And he shuts it down. What happened there, Naz? Very uncharacteristic. Or maybe, I don't know, Nazar's gone that far, he could have even been... I think he didn't know where he was. That was just insane. I'm not sure if it was a mechanical issue or what it was, but look at this. As we see, Nazar Harbali gets a 0 on his first run. That's a shock. That caught me out now. I was excited watching this run, and yeah, just some sort of mechanical gremlin. Nazar shutting it down, flicking back. Just as he came to the wall there, look. The car just lost all power. Didn't lose drive because he drove off the track, so it must have just shut down. Not 100% sure, but I definitely will be finding out as we're heading back to the start line there now. And up next we have Edgar Krogas. Edgar Krogas, another Latvian driver in the Kebab Fighter. A fan favourite here. A guy who's just having the time of his life. There's me. I made it on the live stream. Finally, look, to show everyone I am actually here and I am doing a bit of work. I get caught out by myself on the screen. But yeah, Edgar Krogas representing Latvia in his Kebab Fighter, doing what can he do on his first qualifying run. As we see Eggers leave the line, throwing it in, nice big initiation. We see Krogas go maybe just a small bit too wide, but he gets it back online, bringing the Kebab Fighter right up to the concrete block. No fear of damaging that front bumper. So we see him now putting foot to floor as he comes up, transitions back for the wall. And filling that last outer zone. This is not a bad run. Not a kebab run is a better pun, I could say there for Eggers. But yeah, Craig is doing a great job. Look at this initiation. Maybe snapped a bit too much, had to tone it back in, a little bit of a wobble. Send him a small bit wide there. You know, one wheel off, it'll be a deduction. But still a 77 on his first run. And a little bit of room for improvement for Craigus, but no better man to do it. Eggers, a fan favourite out here, and definitely a favourite with all the internationals. We've had good fun over the last couple of weeks doing all these brilliant activities out here in beautiful Muscat and Oman. Yeah, it's definitely been a trip that a lot of us will not forget. Okay, we're back on the line, and it is Ahmed Al-Amri, representing Oman, one of the nicest guys I've met. The hospitality this guy's put on for all of us, just absolutely insane, helping everyone out. Just literally, we had so much fun with him, and he is a wild man in the chase position. But to get him there, we need him to qualify. I've big expectations for Al-Amri this weekend, as we see the Omani driver throwing it in wild, absolutely filling out her zone. Look at this, putting the front bumper right on the wall. This car got a bit of an impact with the wall at the last round. He done some cable tie stitching to fix the side of it, tried to show it to me. I said, that's just Irish drifting in my eyes, so. But yeah, Al-Amri doing a great job here now as he's smoking out the Muscat Drift Arena, bringing it over the line. The local man doing a great job as he gets a huge round of applause from the audience. Definitely a fan favourite here in Oman, and proving that Omani drivers can hang with the big boys. He says the only reason he's so good is because he drives every year with the best, and an 83.3 from Al-Amri will see him definitely safe for battle action tomorrow night. But he's got one more run, and he is going to push hard on that run. And Al-Amri now has brought us into the top 5 in our championship order. Not much points separating all these guys, but up next is a guy in 4th position. He definitely had a hard night at the office on round 2. That poor S14 was in the wall a few times. So many hits, you know, a lot of damage repair. It was only cosmetic damage though, body damage, things like that. But it is Clint Van Hout representing the Netherlands. Absolutely insane driver is Clint in this beautiful Nissan Silvia S14. Clint sitting 4th in the championship. He wants to get a good result this weekend, try and push himself up into a top 3 finish, or maybe possibly a championship win. We will have to sit down and do the maths tonight to see who will be eligible to take in that championship. But Clint leaves the line for his first run as we see him throwing it in. Big flare, big angle from Clint. Doing a nice job now, absolutely filling that outer zone lovely as he brings it around, puts the front bumper right on the wall, no fear whatsoever. Does a great job here now. Watch it now, Clint coming around for the transition, back bumper on the wall. Beautiful job from Clint. Him and his team working tirelessly, making sure that car is back in tip-top performance for this weekend, and it looks to be doing just that. Great run there from the Dutchman. And an 82.7 for Clint on his first run. He will be happy with that. Definitely be pushing though. Clint wants to get in that 90s club tonight in qualifying. But yeah, I cannot wait to see. Tomorrow night's battle action is going to be insane. A lot of these drivers have nothing to lose, so they're going to put it all on the line. And we just get to sit back and watch. Unbelievable. Okay, we head back to the line, and it is Juha Rintanen. Juha representing Finland, GR86. What can Juha do on his first qualifying run? 10 points behind Ahmed Daham, which would put him 60 points or give or take behind James Dean. This is me going off memory. I could be a little bit wrong. It's roughly around that. Don't quote me. I'm only a commentator. But yeah, Juha definitely wants to try and get up and have a chance of fighting for that championship here. As we see Juha leave the line for his first run. Is that car performing right? Throwing it very wide there, possibly dropping the wheel on initiation. So we see him now doing whatever he can to try and salvage this run. We see Juha filling that outer zone, bringing it around now and over the finish line. It's not a bad run from the driver from Finland. So let's see what way the judges will score this, and you know. And a 91 for Juha Rintanen on his first qualifying run, so I hope he's happy with that one, but you never know. Maybe he wants more. Okay, and then there were two. They're making his way out now. It's a round 2 winner, Mr. Ahmed Daham, 360 GoPro on his front bumper. Wow, that's bravery there, whoever put that there, because that will be heading for the wall at clip 3. And I know Ahmed Daham, he is going to absolutely send it here. He told me in an interview before we went live, I've got nothing to lose. I'm going for it. Him and James, very little separates them. Last round, what's Daham got? Representing Jordan, look at this, throwing that S14 in wild. As we see Ahmed Daham smoking this drift arena out of it, putting the front bumper right on the wall. As we see him transitioning back now, look at the pace of Daham, putting on an absolute masterclass here. Back of the car, out to the wall. This is a very good run from Ahmed Daham as they brings it around and over the line. Huge run from Daham there. This man wants it this weekend. He's like, he wants that championship. He wants to fight it out with James Dean. And you know what? I think we all want to see it. We did not get the final that we wanted last week. Obviously, James's car was not repairable to get it out, so Daham got the final run alone by himself. But both guys said straight after, it was like, nah, that's not what we wanted. We wanted this. And it's an 89.7.3 for Daham, away from the 90s club. He is going to come out like a madman on the next run and push really, really hard. But hey, an 89.7, let's be honest, that is an unbelievable score in qualifying. So huge run there from Ahmed Daham. As you can see, that much smoke blowing in front of the start line, we can barely see it. The OIDC banner kind of coming into vision there through the smoke as we see the lights. Absolutely insane. But also as insane is that James Dean is pulling to the line. And if you were watching last week, you would have seen the impact that this car got. Probably one of the biggest hits I've seen. I actually seen the car in the garage while him and his team were repairing it last week. The damage that was sustained to this car is just absolutely insane. All the guys helped out, loads of people, other teams, everyone jumped in to try and get James on track, but just unfortunate for him, he was not able to do it. But that car back on the grid this week, looking nearly as good as it did at round 1. But the thing is, it's not about how it looks, it's how it performs. And from what I've seen in practice today, this car was performing perfectly, and the man behind the wheel is performing perfectly. So what can the machine do on his first qualifying run? He's leading the championship, 50 points ahead of Daham. Won round 1, second in round 2. What's going to happen for the machine in round 3? Well, here we go. He flicks it in backwards as we see James Dean putting a masterclass on already. Back wheel right on that outer line as they flick back. Huge angle through the inside clip for James Dean. As we see him now doing absolutely everything the judges asked in that driver's briefing. And James throwing it on the wall. No fear whatsoever. Them concrete blocks. You would not think this car was in a huge accident last week as the machine brings it over the line. Come on. Arguably the best drifter in the world. Well, look, I'm going to say it. In my opinion, I think he's the best drifter in the world. If that doesn't prove it, the impact he had, I'm sure James would have been a little bit sore, things like that after last week, but he is here. He puts a 95 down for his first run. Just said, sorry lads, car was damaged last week, but this week, It's a new game. Even playing field, let's go. The machine is back and doing what he does best. Unbelievable driving, and I'm so happy to see that. A lot of people put work into that car trying to get it ready for this week. So yeah, huge shout out to all of them. Well, look, that is the first half of qualifying done, and if you enjoyed that as much as I did, remember, we start at the start, we go again. Each one of these drivers get 2 runs to get the best score from our judges. So we will just take a short little break just to reset our scores, reset our scores and go back to the start, and then we will figure out our battle order for tomorrow night. But yeah, the first half of qualifying here, our round 3 of OIDC, has been absolutely amazing. You can see the smoke bellowing up past the judges' tower in the commentary booths here. Unreal, just absolutely unreal. And yeah, we're going to start it all again in about 10 minutes. So just going to take a quick break, reset our systems, get me a little drink of water, calm me down. She'd calm down to build yourself back up again. But yeah, all the drivers throwing it down, huge runs. The top 10 drivers did not let down. All them guys are just veteran drivers, and yeah, unbelievable to watch. Super excited to see what's going to come here in round 2 of qualifying.
يبقى الرأي الأول والأخير للتحكيم وللأمور الفنية اللي احنا ممكن ان ما نتابع، احنا هنا نستمتع ونمتع وأيضا نستمتع بهذه المحركات، وأيضا مثل ما التلفزيون بيكررها دائما الإكسيك يتألم ولكن لابد أن يكون هناك كلام واضح من كيان المتسابق على المسار حتى نقول تابعونا معكم مستمرين. بعد قليل تنطلق في 2 للأبطال، فمن سيكون الأفضل ليصل 32 إلى تصفيات يوم الغد. معكم مستمرين، كل التحية من هنا بالمسقط الرياضي. راح ننتظر إن شاء الله نتوقف يعني شيء بسيط جدا، يمكن الإشارة أن يكون 10 دقائق إلى ربع ساعة، وبعدها راح نرجع بإذن الله نكمل على السكند راوند بإذن الله. العملاء بس موجودين عندك خليكم راجعين. قهوة.
كل نهار جديد يبعث معه املا جديدا لنرسم الرؤيا ونصنع الانجاز. كل نهار جديد يبعث امجاد الامس وطموح أمة تسابق الزمن بكل عزم وإصرار. لأجل عمان اليوم غاية وهدف. منذ أكثر من 50 عاما من جيل إلى جيل. لأجل عمان الغد.
バリのタイヤ。
smoke. If you flashing all the guns on your live, you a joke. Katie posing up with bodies and you never ever broke. I'll be pressing find a shooter who be lacking in the second.
كل نهار جديد يبعث معه املا جديدا لنرسم الرؤيه ونصنع الانجاز. كل نهار جديد يبعث امجاد الامس وطموح امه تسابق الزمن بكل عزم واصرار. لاجل عمان اليوم غايه وهدف. منذ أكثر من 50 عاما من جيل إلى جيل لأجل عمان الغد.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the second half of qualifying here at round 3 of OIDC. Oh, I had to take a minute, I had to leave the commentary booth there, but yeah, that was an exciting end to the first half of qualifying. But we are back at the start. Abdullah Jouad throwing it in. Can Abdullah do anything to improve on his first score? So Abdullah currently is sitting outside that top 32, so a lot of work to do, and unfortunately for him, it seems like it's not going to be his night there. He will have to settle for his first score. Maybe nerves getting the better of him, I'm not 100% sure. Oh no, my apologies, Abdullah is currently sitting in 25th with a 60th, so he is inside that top 32. I was just looking at a different car there, so let's see what happened here for Abdullah, just throwing it in. Nice initiation, he was doing well there, but just goes a bit wrong for him here. There we go, 4 wheels off will bring it to a 0, so he's going to have to stick with his first score, and his first score is a 60.3 or 60.30. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what Abdullah's fate will be. 25th position, you know, but there is a few decent drivers and on the 0, and a few other guys made mistakes that they know they can improve on, so we'll have to wait and see if Abdullah can make it up. And we're going to go back to the line. It is Dr. Drift, Adil Al-Sinsin. The borrowed car, he rented this car, him and his daughter just came out for fun. Very underpowered, it's only like 400, 450 brake, 1JZ, 180SX. So Dr. Drift there from the Philippines. Let's see what he can do on the second run. Unfortunately for him, he's on a 0. So a lot of nerves for the doctor as he hits the track for the second time. Oh, throwing it in, and something's gone wrong there. That car looked like it shut down, gripped up, missed the gear. I'm not sure. So many things that can go wrong at the start of qualifying just as you flick the car in. But yeah, look, that car seems to be really down on power. I think the doctor is just kicking the clutch repetitively to try and keep that thing sideways, but it's nearly turned into an undrivable scenario, and it's so unfortunate, especially when it's not your car. Like, you're trying to learn a new car in what, we'd 4-hour practice today, 2 groups, an hour per group, the 2 hours per group, so 2 hours. And at that, like, when I say 2 groups, there's like 20 something, 25, 26 cars per group, so restricted laps obviously, and unfortunately for the doctor, just that would be 2 zeros. But we will see Dr. Drift back next year, because he told me he's going to ship his and his 2 daughters' cars back out, so they're all in their own cars, nice and comfortable. So yeah, definitely one I'm excited to see, because he's such a nice guy. Got to chat with him and his kids today, and here is one of them now. It is Ashley Simpson, daughter Drift. We got Dr. Drift, we got daughter Drift. Ashley, the same as her father, unfortunately got a 0 on her first run, so a lot of work to do. This borrowed car is a 180SX with an LS3, and Ashley was telling me she's used to driving an RB25 back in the Philippines, so going from a turbo car to an NA LS3, it's some difference. But yeah, another 0 for daddy daughter, and just a shame. Such nice people. They said just the experience of being on the grid with some of these drivers is that was the highlight of the weekend for them. The drivers briefing, they were just looking around in the drivers briefing and like, wow, look who's here. But yeah, unfortunate for both daddy and daughter, 2 zeros, and we will not see any more of them. That will be the end of the weekend, but they had the time of their life, I know for a fact, because they were going around meeting everyone. Such nice people, their whole crew, such nice people, so enthusiastic about drifting, and just want to highlight Philippines drifting and make it a bit bigger than it already is. And I'm sure it will be a place that everyone will be watching in years to come. Okay, we're heading back to the line. It is Mohammed Al Musari. Mohammed's coming in for his second run. So let's see how Mohammed will get on his second qualifying run. Screams of the Sylvias is coming down the straight. Absolutely insane. Throwing it in. Oh no! Something went horribly wrong there. Like, that car shut down, lost power. It just snapped back across on him. And in that moment, poor Mohammed ended up being a passenger. Looks like the damage is just cosmetic as he runs over his own front bumper at an insult to injury, but drives off the track nonetheless. So not too much damage there for Mohammed. Watch this now. He flicks and it just grips up. Snap. Oh. Here, Grinya here. The other live stream commentator making a whoop sound, which actually got me to laugh. But yeah, very unfortunate there for Mohammed. So let's see as I just scan up the list to see what he scored on his first run. Okay, so he scored a 65 on his first run, Mohammed did, so that would keep him in this current time in 20th position. But yeah, it'll be a long way for him to see if he makes it into battle action tomorrow night, as we see a beautiful drone shot of our pits there. Well presented pit area of everyone puts so much effort into their pits, making sure they look the best and represent all their sponsors. And yeah, we see all the cars lined up, so our marshals are just repairing them water barriers, and then we will send these guys off again for the second half of qualifying. I think after last week, these marshals are absolute experts at building up them water barriers around the track, so we should have this done in no time. And from there we will go to Adil Yagub, representing Pakistan, or scheduled to be him. You know, maybe I'm jumping the gun. I'm trying to see in the gridding area who is there next up to make their way onto the circuit. As we see a car come on it now, yeah, it is. Looks like it is Adil. So I do have our qualifying order in front of us. So at the current time, in first position is James Dean, second position is Sebastian Font, in third position Juha Rintanen, fourth for Ahmed Daham, fifth for Hazza, sixth for Cherba, seven for Nick Nack, eight for Ahmed Lamri, 9 for Ali McSeed, and 10 for Clint Van Oot, 11 for Chris Brady from Ireland, 12 for Ehab Fala, 13 for Egar Crocus, 14 for Samen Al-Sarf, and 15 for Victor Jansu. So that's your top 15 in qualifying after the first half. So let's see how we get on. But we're back to Adil Yagub, representing Pakistan. JZ S14 seems to be the winning combination. Oh, just getting it all wrong. Initiation. Look at the squat in the back of that car. Absolutely sitting in them arches. So we see him now doing whatever he can, but unfortunately just getting it all wrong there as he makes his way around the track. Currently in 34th position, so a bit of work to do to try and get up into that top 32, and I am not sure if that was the run that will do it. First time this season here in OIDC, wasn't at 1 and 2, he made it out for round 3, and from there it starts to go all wrong, ends up on the inside of the track, pushing maybe a little bit too hard, knowing he has that pressure on his shoulders to try and get into battle action tomorrow night. So at 28.7, so he will jump up, but 28.7 will jump him up to 33rd position. Oh, it's very hard, that one is. So yeah, unfortunately I think that will be the end of his weekend. As we move back to the line, Mazoud Al-Matari, representing Kuwait, young man. Not sure of his age, just seen him in the pits and I was like, definitely a young lad. So he is currently in 31st position, so he'll want to get higher up that order. Big flick, is he able to hold it? Stomping on the front brake, trying to control the front of that car just to get it to settle down, but missing out of zone 1. Now he gets it back online, lovely. Oh, running the E36 right on the wall. Foot to floor, doing whatever they can to get around. Flicks it back for the wall. This is not a bad second half of the run, but stomps on the front brake, trying to make that car go where he wants it to go, as he brings it around the last corner and over the line. See here, watch this flick, boom. He caught him out, I'd say. It went on the angle so far, so it will be interesting to see. But yeah, at 39, so he does not improve on his first score. He will have to stay where he is, and we will see later on if he makes it into battle action. Okay, we head back to the line. Representing China, it is Hanbin. What can Hanbin do? 180SX JZ, absolutely insane car when you walk around it. The spec of this car is just, it's like something you build up Forza. Oh, Hanbin, not sure what's going on. Them red tires like the last time, but he's very wide there. As he, He does a great job there just to avoid the wall. The way he flicked it, I thought he was going to catch the wall. Had to throw that car a bit wider than he wanted it. And runs the back along the wall. That was fairly cool wall run, but ending up completely on the inside of the track. Getting it nearly all wrong. And he does a 360 because I think he knows his own fate. As you see, red smoke outside. I'm standing up to look out the window because that just looks insane on the live stream, and it looks well crazier in person. So Hanbin does complete his second run. He gets a 49 in his first run, he gets a 15 on his second run, so he'll have to stick with his first score, and his first score has him in 28th position. He's in battle action, but there's a few people on zeros who could take him out. So yeah, unfortunately for Hanbin, the second run not as good as his first, so he'll have to stick with that score, and it'll be a long wait for him to figure out if he's going to make it into battle action tomorrow night. It's the last round. A lot of these drivers have come a long way. Their cars left a good while ago in containers to be shipped to Oman, so they want to try and get a chance getting into the last round battles. So we head back to the line. It is Sultan Samir Al Bushi representing Oman. This is a guy I know, he's been having some steering issues with this car. Didn't make his first run, all through in one run. Is that car fixed? He's probably just going to send it out and see what happens. He's after coming down here today. Just getting all wrong for Sultan. As we see him now putting foot to floor, bringing it away from the wall, not bringing it in tight. Yep, that car. Again, steering issues. Look, just puts the foot down. It's bringing him to certain places as it snaps back. He's not really even letting it go on much angle. It's like he's babying that thing around. I'll just do the bare minimum and see can I get a score on the board. But unfortunately, at this standard of driving, I don't know if that's going to be enough. I feel bad for Sultan. Such a nice guy, but just not initiating before the line, so that's what's going to hurt his score the most. Everything else that happened of it will take points off the score, but yeah, 0 for not initiating early. That's very unfortunate, and that will be the end of his night there. Didn't make his first run, unfortunately getting it all wrong in the second run. We will see him back next year, the Omani driver, and I tell you, I'd say he's a guy that's going to be on a mission to figure out that car and learn before next season, 2025 season of OIDC. Okay, up next is Ansan Yudhand, representing Malaysia. Ansan leaves for his first run. Initiation, but he just ends up a small bit on the inside. Now he's doing, and he can try and keep that car on circuit, but he's going very wide. When you put your front wheels behind that clip, you can nearly see the writing on the wall that could be 4 wheels off, and then shuts it down. Look at that cab full of smoke. This car is not short of power. Absolutely insane. I know it was on a dyno last week in a local garage, but just not sure if it's working out for Anson at all. This flick. Yeah, a lot of these guys in the early half just struggling. It's a shame, you know, you come all this way, you send the car over, and then the car doesn't play ball, and then when you're so far from home, you know, you don't have your usual parts guys, mechanics, tuners, or anyone like that, people that normally help you out, and you're like trying to figure it out. It's just so difficult, but look, that's what part of drifting is, and I'm sure Anson will be back next year better than ever after figuring out what whatever issues that car just looks like it's like a crazy handful to drive. So okay, up next is Mohammed Khurshid, sitting in 26th position currently, 58 on his first run. What can he do to improve on that? S14 on with a V8 turbo, which you have very common build out in the Middle East. Every reason, look at that. Mohammed smoking the place over, putting the front bumper right into that wall. Did a nice job there. Now, transition, and it's like the car just lagged up ever so slightly, brought him to the inside of the track. Just to feather the throttle a bit, trying to get back on the correct qualifying line, getting maximum points off our judges tonight as he comes around the last corner and over the line. Yeah, unfortunately, Mohammed, once it seemed that car like lagged up or whatever happened in that scenario, he just ended up in the wrong part of the track. And then from there, it was just fighting that Sylvia, trying to get it back out to where it should be. So okay, we move back to the line. It is Zahar Al-Shahaksi. Let's see if we can find out where Zahar is. Zahar is currently sitting in 39th position, so he's outside of that top 32. Another Omani driver with a bit of work to do to try and get him into the battles tomorrow night. As we see Zahar and his 370Z leave the line for the second qualifying run. Oh, big flick, second guessed it, straight in the car. Doing a nice job though here, Zahar. Bringing around that first corner, lovely. Absolutely filling the first few zones. Not as tight to the wall, but he is in that clip, so he's doing whatever he can. And just on the transition works. A little bit too much wide. Doing anything he can now. Oh, big, huge handbrake strike there to try and get it to the wall, but the car seemed like it gripped up and pulled in him, or it seems like there's something wrong because he's fighting that thing and four wheels off before the zero. He knows it. He leaves the arena. That will be a zero for Zahar El-Shahaksi on his second run. Another guy will not make it to battle action tomorrow night. Right, we're going to head back to the line. It is the young guy from the UAE, Khalifa Al-Fahasi. In Danny Neville's 180SX. The car broke down on the first run, got him a zero. He did not finish the run, so I'm wondering if they have found them mechanical gremlins and got him out of that car. What's going on? Hopefully the young man from UAE, serious pilot, 15 years of age, and I think a lot of people in the paddock are saying that this is a kid to be watching for the future of Middle Eastern drifting. But we see him coming down no flick, straight line, just trying to do what he can to get a score on the board, but ended up too much on the inside of the track. A lot of pressure on this young man now. Oh, that car seems like it's down on power now. It looks like it's barely able to spin the rear wheels, as Khalifa doing whatever he can to try and keep it sideways. Big handbrake drag, not getting the clips, bit of a straighten there as they make it through. You can hear in that car is not running right, but he does bring it over the line. But that was just shallow absolutely everywhere. So We will have to see what score comes in for the judges, but I don't know. With the standard of driving that we've seen there now tonight, I don't think that'll be enough to bring him into the top 32. Then again, I'm only a commentator. I'm not a judge, so don't listen to me. We'll wait for the graphic to appear on the screen for the three men that actually know what they're talking about. They make the final decision, not me. Okay, so we are back on the line. Just waiting for a graphic. And there you have it, a 17.7 from Khalifa Al Falhassi. So we'll have to... Tough day, especially when the car's not playing ball. But up next is Fahad Al Jihadi, representing Kuwait. Look at this, throwing it in fast. Putting the foot down now, absolutely smoking them rear tyres. Filling up outer zone too. This is not a bad run. Fahad throwing it along the wall. That was nice. Such bravery there. To go on the handbrake afterwards. I think it caught him out. He threw it in so hard and he brings it over the line for his second qualifying run. And a 67, so Fahad does improve on his first run at 36. So it'll be interesting to see if he will make it 2 battles later on, or sorry, not later on, tomorrow night. Okay, we can hear something crazy in the burnout box. It's shaking the floor in the commentary booth, so it could only mean that Daniel Magzimov, my apologies, and his insane S15 is coming around the corner. This car's absolutely beautiful, but it just seems like a bit of a handful to drive. All these guys are putting big power into these cars, but they cannot get the grip down to try and tame the beast, if you want to say that. So yeah, what can Daniel Magzimov do on his second qualifying run? Look at this big flick. Oh, the wheels in the front of that car, I'm not sure what's going on. Seems like they're straight nearly more than they're sideways. As we see Daniel now hanging on, lifting the front wheel as he comes through the inner clip. Absolutely monstrous S15 here, but just touching the clipping points. That's really all he's doing, is kind of hitting off them, not really getting all the way in, so that will affect the score with the judges. Say drifting is not a race. Judges put that qualifying line out that they want you to follow to the best of your ability, so it's not about who gets there the fastest, who does it the best. So I see Daniel there not getting into all them clipping points. He just kind of touches them and then on to the next one. 20 on his first run, 41.7 on his second run, so he does improve. It will be maybe a long wait for him to see if he makes it into battle action tomorrow night. Okay, up next it is Waqas Saud. Waqas, after the first run, was sitting in 29th position, so yeah, he's inside the top 32, but just barely so. He's going to want to get a better score now and push himself up that order. We see Waqas now not getting the outer zone. Can he get it back online? Gets that Mustang inside the inner clip, but transition on the inside of the track. Judges saying in the briefing that they do not want that. Like, okay, it's easy to do it in qualifying, but when we get the battle tomorrow night, how are you meant to chase that? The chase driver is obviously going to have to drive straight off the track. So yeah, Waqas now coming around the last zone, filling the last zone nicely. Credit where credit's due, the last corner nicely, but that Mustang just bouncing its way around the track here in Muscat. See, when he comes on power, it just starts jumping at the back. But yeah, unfortunately for Waqas, 48 in his first run, a 44 in his second run, so he'll have to stick with his first score. Will it be enough? I'm not sure. There's some talented drivers on a 0 there, so we will have to wait and see how he gets on at the end of the night. Speaking of talented drivers on a 0, up next it is Andreas Lilja in the Mark IV Supra. He's having a really hard time this trip in Oman, but what can Andreas do? He got a 0 in the first run, car let him down, so it will be interesting to see what way he will approach. Oh, it's not Andreas. Unfortunately, Andreas not making it back out, so obviously whatever issue happened to that car, not enough. So yeah, that'll be the end of his OIDC championship. But up next we do have Damir Italian. And we have Damir in this insane GT86. Unbelievable car, unbelievable driver. Throwing it in now. There's a lot of limiter bashing there. He goes absolutely wild through that first corner, dropping a wheel, but getting it back on. Not as tight to the wall as we want to see him, but oh, and he gone really wide there. Maybe some of these guys pushing that bit too hard, going right. James got 95 in his first run, so what can he do? What can anyone do to try and up the score? But yeah, Damir now just salvaged the rest of that run. That car, I don't know what that sound was as it came over the finish line, if it was anti-lag or something going wrong, but Damir absolutely peddling it. Maybe to change the gear ratio or something, thinking that they might be able to make him faster around this track. Sometimes calls like that can go horribly wrong. Yeah, 70 in his first run, a 57 on his second, so he will have to stay where he is. But in a quick glance, he is currently in 17th position, so 70 maybe could hold him into battle tomorrow. You'd be hoping it would. Damir, such a nice guy, serious car, and just, yeah, after having a tough season this season so far, so I'm sure they want to try and get a good results at the last round. Okay, we head back to the line. On the paper, it is the first of our Swedish drift brothers, Victor Jansu. As we see Victor's E92 M3 coming around the corner there. Absolutely unbelievable. A little clap of the hand, psychs himself up. See the deep breaths as he gets to leave the line for his second qualifying run. Oh, it drifts out the chicane, gone wild. This is literally a Swedish man gone wild, if you ask me. Throwing it in, absolutely insane. Definitely caught everyone's attention here in the Muscat Drift Arena as he puts the front bumper right on the wall, flicking it back. Now, not as deep in the zones as the judges would like, but he throws it out to the wall. No fear whatsoever here from Victor Jansu as he comes around the last corner and over the line. That was wild. I'm excited to see the replay of this. Look at this full mangy flick. Even there, you know, seeing his eyes, he's like, whoa. But in fairness, Victor held it, so credit where credit's due. So Victor on his first run got a 76, so he's in 15th position. So maybe, yeah, just pushing that a little bit harder. So a 72 on his second run. Maybe risk reward is not paying off for him, but look, he will stay there in 15th position. So I'd be confident we should see him in battle action tomorrow. Okay, up next it's Hussein Mislani. Hussein is currently sitting in 19th position there, 69 on his first run. What can he do to improve it? told me that the steering of this Corvette is not working, he's not happy with it, and in the off season he's going to go reevaluate the whole thing. But then he came out in his first run, and to be fair, the car looked like it was steering well, so I'm not sure if him and his team were at it on the break, maybe figured something out. So seeing such a nice guy, actually rooting for him. Oh no, that's the steering issues he was telling me about. Just getting it all wrong there when he threw it in. Oh, you know, as you can see, he just shuts it off. He's like, hands in the air, like, what? Car, you are killing me. He was saying jumping from that E46 chassis into the C6 Corvette. Every day is a school day when you're in a new car, and when you're learning it on the stage like OIDC, you're learning it in front of the world's eyes, so there's a lot of pressure there. But yeah, Hussein, such a good driver, such a nice guy. Really hope he gets that sorted out. Even tonight he gets it sorted out and he gets a fair chance of battle action tomorrow. Okay, I can hear something insane in the burnout box. So I'm expecting Robert Babagulian to come around the corner in his crazy 350, but you never know. I've said the paper name a few times, and then someone else just comes around, because when you're not in the pits, absolutely anything can happen. Our marshals are checking, going, what's he doing in there? Absolute weapon. Ah, it is Robert. It's crazy, crazy, crazy 350Z. Big fan of this, big fan of the Z myself, but Robert has a monster of a yoke. He's going out for run 2. Currently in 21st position after the first run, so how will he get on his second, as we see a big flick in there from Robert. Not deep at all in that first outer zone, but he is very, very fast. So we see him now starting to get it back online, putting the front of that 350Z right into the wall. Drops a wheel there just on outer zone 2. So we see him come around now, transitions for the back of the car to the wall, doing a lovely job there, but ends up on the inside, has to dab the handbrake to try and get back online, salvage as many points as possible, as we hear the limiter scream, and he does a 360 and doesn't take our cones out of it. That's respect there for the cones, I like that. But yeah, very good run there from Robert Babagulian on his second run. So let's see what the judges give him. 64 in the first one, 73.7 on the second one. He jumps up the order, so he is going to be happy with that. Okay, up next it is Ihab Al-Falah. Ihab is currently sitting in 12th position. He got a 79.3 in his first one, so he knows he has a little bit of a safety net there. He knows he can push hard, and he is well capable of doing that. Another driver changing up chassis this year, jumping from an S body to a 46. He says this was the best thing he could have ever done. So I'm really excited to see what Ihab does on his second run here in qualifying for round 3 of OIDC. Look at this from Ihab, lovely and wide, filling that outer zone. Big speed through there, that's carrying some pace as he puts the front of that BMW right to the wall, and then a huge clutch kick to try and keep it going. Like that car just gripped up on him or lagged up or so. I don't know what it did there, but Ihab, with wealth of experience behind the wheel, did a good job, well able to hold it, and takes it over the line. That's not a bad run. He's going to be happy with that. Ihab's such a nice guy. Really, really good driver. Definitely one who's made an impression on me this season here. And I cannot wait to see him next season, because when you get confident in a car, then you'll be unstoppable, my friend. A 79 in his first run, a 68 in his second run. Maybe just dropping one too many wheels in certain places, but he was always going to push. He was in 12th. Once you're that close to the top, you know you have that safety net. You're inside the top 32. The chance of that many people bringing you down 20 places, it's very, very slim. But you never know in this crazy sport that we do called drifting. Okay, back on the line. We have a Mark IV Supra. It is Riyad Misalbi representing Oman. Riyad is on a 0, an uncharacteristic 0. Getting it all wrong initiation on his first run, so let's see what he can do to get himself back up inside that top 32 and get him safe for battle action tomorrow night. Oh, the screams of this car, and you can see Riyad's driving it like a man possessed, throwing it in on big angle, but initiating a small bit early, not getting as deep in that outer zone as he'd like to. What's he going to do now as he comes in? Hits clips too perfect, nose of the car to the wall, not a problem. Flicks it back. This is more like the Riyad we're used to seeing. As he comes around, transitioning for the wall, through his own smoke. Doing whatever he can now to keep that choke as wide as possible and fill that last outer zone. As he brings it over the line. That's a nice run there from Riyad. That's more like the Riyad we're used to seeing from round 1 and 2. Watch this. Oh, a 68.3 on his second run. That's a man that was under pressure with that 0 from the first one. So absolutely delighted. And we'll have to wait and see as Riyad make it into battle action tonight. Well, at the end of the top 32, or sorry, the first round of bracket, the top 32 cut-off was 36. So, I'm not saying anything, but I think we could say we will be seeing Riyad in battle action tomorrow. As we see that absolutely beautiful drone shot of Muscat there, the Muscat E-Festival going again for the second weekend. Definitely hitting it up again. It was unbelievable last week, so why would I not? But before I go eat food, we have a lot more runs to watch on qualifying, and it is Bullseye representing Malaysia. Bullseye is sitting in 22nd position. He got a 63.7 on his first run. What can he do to improve on his second? The leader of Team Malaysia, the veteran of OIDC. 4 years he's been coming out here, and he says he wants to do another 4. He absolutely loves it. Brings his driving on so much, driving with the best in the world, and where else can you do that? Only here at the Oman International Drift Championship. As we wait just to smoke to clear, give Bullseye a fair chance, same as everyone else. All track conditions stay the same for all drivers. We see the start line marshal smiling at Bullseye, Bullseye smiling at the start line marshal. I think he's just giving him the signal of, I'm just letting the smoke clear to make sure you can see, and especially see them walls. You know, we're sending the nose of the cars right into them concrete walls. You want to make sure the driver's visibility is absolutely perfect. Thumbs up from Bullseye, thumbs up from the start line marshal, and away he goes for his second run. So we see him send that going sky high, let that banging through the gears, flicks it in. Nice and wide from Bullseye, doing a nice job here now. Makes it all the way around inside the clip 1. Lovely, no fear of that wall whatsoever. Huge angle on that transition, getting right out and wide in the outer zone 2. Bullseye's doing a great job here now as he sends it back for the wall. Lovely and deep on the wall. This is a brilliant run from the Malaysian driver as he puts foot to floor and over the line. Wow, give it up for Bullseye. That was a good run, it really was. Showing no fear whatsoever. So as I just scan up the list to try and see what position Bullseye is in. He scores a 75 on his second run, which does improve on the 63 of his first, so he will jump up the order and he will be delighted with that one. me see. There's the little delays. You see, the later it gets, the wind dies down here in Muscat, and that smoke just lingers. And for some reason, it just lingers around the wall. Obviously, there is the crossover there, but that's not where you want the smoke to be lingering. We're sending these drivers at this wall twice. First with the nose of the car, second with the rear of the car, as you do. So we want to make sure it is fair for everyone. Same for Salam Arsaf, representing Kuwait, throwing it in wide is Al-Sarf. Look at this. A great first section there as he brings around now, pinpoint actually for 1-2. Oh, no fear of the walls whatsoever, putting the front of the car right out there. Ah, his steering wheel came off. His steering wheel came off. No, what? That could have went so much more wrong. At least he had the intelligence to put it out the window, so we all knew. Let me see, a 77.3. I thought we've seen it all this season here in Oman, but his steering wheel came off. Oh, I feel so bad because he was on for a whopper of a line. Watch this, he just goes, huh? At least he got it out the window to make sure everyone knew what happened. I don't know if something broke, if the wheel wasn't clipped on, or if that was just one of them snap-on kits from Wish or something that broke mid-drift, but yeah, we're lucky. That could have went a lot worse. If you were coming to the inside wall clip full angle and that steering wheel comes off, that could have been a big impact there for Salam. So yeah, he get away lightly and he'll have to settle with his first score. Okay, the floor's vibrating, can only mean one thing. There is a bazooka in the burnout box, and it is Ali Al-Shahani in this crazy S15. This thing just, I always say it looks like it's bringing him for a passenger spin, not he's bringing it for a lap of the track. So let's see how the first of Al-Shahani brothers will. So as we wait for Bazooka to make his way out of the burnout box and onto the start line, will he give us his signature rolling burnout when he leaves the chicane? Not sure, there must be something wrong there because the bazooka was in the box, the floor was shaking, and then it all went quiet. Now our Starlight Marshal's gone in there as well, so I'm wondering will we get a camera angle from the burnout box just to see what's after happening. Is he after breaking down, or... Oh, he is after breaking down. Ali Al-Shahani, the car that was on axle stands for majority of today, has been recovered out of the burnout box, and we will not see him do his second qualifying run. I'm not sure what the issue is, if it was like a diff or a shaft or something like that, but yeah, the first of our Shahani brothers will not go for the second. Yeah, they're all looking at the back of the car. Is it a diff or a gearbox? Not sure, but we'll have to wait and see. Is his first run good enough to get him into battle action tomorrow night? Yeah, like he got a he's in 23rd with a 63, so you know, might be enough, might not be enough. Only time will tell. Okay, so we're going to move it on to our next driver, and after Ali Al-Shahani, it is the second of our Swedish drift brothers. It is Linus Jansu, BMW E92 M3. Absolutely beautiful cars. Two identical cars the Swedish drift brothers have brought over here. They're ain't building one, building two to that standard is just insane. So it's a credit to them and their team. These guys are so nice and becoming fan favourites out here in Oman. Huge amount of people around him at the autograph session at the parade lap the other night there. insane night it was here in Muscat. But yeah, we see Linus coming out for his second run. The standard of Beard on the start line is through the roof. 100 points for Beard in my eyes, that's all I'm going to say. But the judges are judging the drifting. Okay, thumbs up from the marshals. Away he goes. Linus leaves the line as he flicks it in. Nice initiation from Linus, doing a great job here now. Swedish Surf Brothers are getting these cars dialed in this Oman temperature. As Linus puts the front bumper right on the wall. That was a beautiful pull. Maybe transitions just a small bit too wide. Drops the wheel, has to come on the front brakes, get it back in as he flicks it for the wall. Not as deep as we'd like to see him on the wall, but he's doing a brilliant job here, filling that last outer zone and bringing it over the line. Linus over the line. So we see Linus there putting the front bumper exactly where the judges asked. So much bravery involved in that. Credit to all these drivers. You don't want to put your pride and joy right at the front on the concrete wall, unless you're being judged, I suppose. But yeah, we see Linus there now. He's just dropping one wheel as he comes over the finish line, clipping that cone, but not a bad run. As we see our next driver making their way to the line, it is Dennis Miguel. But before we send Dennis now, it would be nice to see. There you are, a 48 for Linus on the second run, so he'll stick with the 62 of his first run. We'll find out later on if he will get into battle action tomorrow. Okay, so Dennis Miguel leaves the line. C6 Corvette, throwing it in nice and wide. Absolutely smoking this Corvette. Oh, he had to do a big wobble there to avoid contact with that wall. Doing a good job there not to make contact with the wall, but it'll be interesting to see what way the judges will score that. Other than that one mistake, this is not a bad run from Dennis. Till there, just as I say, commentator's curse comes into play, puts it straight out, maybe 1-2 wheels over the line. Oh, watch this inside clip on the wall now. It's like he knew this is a very long car, and yeah, I'm going to hit it. So, does whatever he can to avoid it. Shoots in a bit, it's like, nope. There's a little flick. 56 in the first run, 57 on the second run. Consistency is key in drifting, but I'm sure Dennis would have liked to jump up a little bit higher in the order. So we will move back to the line, and up next it should be the second of Al Shahani brothers, Tariq Al Shahani. Tariq is sitting in 16th position. He got 75.7 on his first run, so that's not bad. But I know he definitely will want to improve on that. Very good driver and well capable of getting up higher in that qualifying order. So what can Tariq do to secure a spot in battle action tomorrow night, as he does the signature Al Shahani burnout out straight, throwing it in? Look at this, that's a lovely first section from Tariq. So we see him now coming back, putting the nose of the car right on the line. Doing such a nice job there. Lovely transitions, just flowed beautiful it did, putting his rear wheels exactly where the judges want them. As we see him now transition for the last time. Not as deep on the wall as we'd like to see him, but all in all, that's not a bad run from Tariq Al-Shahani. Is it going to be enough to be his first score of 75? Look at that. Lock. Just flowed nicely, that did. Maybe, right, he stalled up a small bit, but the judges like that run. It's an 87.7, so a big jump up the order there. An 87 after the first run would currently put him in 5th position, but my sheet is after the first runs. It's not live update and it's a printout, so we'll have to wait and see at the end where he will sit, but that will definitely throw him up the order as we move it back to the start line. And it is Mohammed Shiab representing Lebanon. Mohammed is sitting in 18th position, 69.7 on the first run. What can he do to improve on that, push himself up a bit further? We just wait for some Tariq smoke to clear. Make sure Mohammed has a nice clear track ready to go. Off he goes for a second run. Look at the flame shooting out the bonnet and the waistcoat. Loses the boot lid. That is unbelievable. Clearly someone didn't put the bonnet pins on when they filled it with fuel. This season I've seen this man lose a door and a boot lid. This is unbelievable. Good old fiberglass panels. But look at Mohammed doing a great job here now. Absolutely smoking them tyres out of it. Flicks it back lovely onto the wall from Mohammed Siab. As we see him now filling that last outer zone and over the finish line. That's a good run. It's a very nice run from Mohammed, just actually enjoying it there. And the judges like it too. 69 on the first and a 77 on the second. So he moves up the order. He is going to be delighted with that one. Okay, so we're going to head back to the line. It is, well, I'm assuming it is. And that's 90% of commentary is assumptions. So what's going on here? Mohammed just pulled up. He's driving away. It is. It's Samir Sabah, currently in 30th position. He got a 47.7 on his first run. That car had a hard time at round 2. Big impacts, new door on it, a lot of new panels on it. He borrowed some amount of panels just to get him here. It's not a beauty competition, my friend, it's a drift competition. So if that car is driving right, that's all that matters. So what can he do to get himself further up the order? Light goes green and away he goes. Oh, wild flick. Will it pay off? It's not too bad. He wasn't as deep in the clip as we'd like to see him, but doing a good job all in as he puts the front of that pin over right on the wall. Then he just transitions maybe a small bit late and a bit wide, but doing a good job. All these little wheel drops and all, they're only a few points dropped off, maximum 5, so it does add up at the end. But Samir doing anything he can to keep as many points that the judges will give him. And yeah, that was an interesting run. But what way will the judges score it? Oh, look at that, the front wheel right out to the wall. 47 on the first run, 64.3 on the second. That's more like the Samir we're used to seeing. He will jump up the order with that score there. Okay, back on the line, it is the Irishman. R32 Skyline, RB25 underneath the bonnet. A normal wave this time from Chris, no Irish scan. Chris scored an 80 on his first run, has him in 11th position. I know for a fact he wanted a top 10 in qualifying tonight. So what can the Irishman do to jump up? A lot of work done on that car this morning and last night. Everyone helping out to make sure the little RB is singing. And after his first run, I can tell you that little RB was singing. So yeah, Chris Brady leaves the line. Screams at the RB25 as he comes down the straight. Big flick in. Throws it in nice and wide as Chris Brady. Filling outer zone 2. A little bit of a wobble there. Not sure what happened, but Chris doing a great job to keep the car in. Puts the front bumper right on the wall. No fear of damaging that R32 Skyline. Just dropping one wheel there as we see him coming around that outer zone. Getting ready to flick back for the wall. Lovely and deep on the wall. That was a beautiful wall run from Chris Brady. As we see him now coming through the last section. Here we go. The Irishman's here to play. That car definitely looking like it has more power in it this weekend. All the little tricks him and his team have been doing. Ahmed Daham's tuner. Lots of people helping out with that car. And it seems to have paid off. Just a bit of a wobble there. That was a bit weird now. I'll definitely be picking his brain about that one later on. But all in all, that's a good run from Chris Brady. But is it better than his first run? Can he improve on the 80 points? He doesn't. It's a 77.3. Must be dropping too many wheels. That wall run right there, though, was absolutely unbelievable from the Irishman. So, look, Chris Brady's going to be happy out the door with that. He had a tough morning this morning. I think there was a certain point this morning he didn't think he was going to make qualifying. So, just happy to see him put 2 runs in and get a decent score on the board. Okay, back on the line. It is Ali McSpeed. Ali is in 9th position, 83 on his first run. What can he do to improve? What can he do to join that 90s club? He wants to get up higher. He knows he can hang with our top guys in this championship. He is one of the top guys in this championship. He is your 2023 OIDC champion. He has nothing to lose this weekend. His car is back from a near write-off scenario. So McSeed is going to be a man on a mission. I can't wait to see him in battle tomorrow, but let's see what he does on his second qualifying run tonight. Representing Kuwait. He's just waiting for a lot of that RB smoke clear from Chris Brady. See the smoke there just from the camera angle. It's pushing over to the left hand side. It's slowly clearing out there. Maybe we should get the fans, some fans, and let them fan it away. Okay, Ali leaves the line for his second qualifying run. Man on a mission this weekend. Look at this huge angle from McSeed. That was absolutely insane of an initiation as he puts the foot to the floor. Ah, look at this from Ali, putting that car exactly where he needs to. We see him holding it through outer zone 2, bringing it around, flicks it back for the wall. Lights on the wall. There we go. That's exactly what we came to see. Ali McSeed is going for the 90s club tonight, and if he doesn't get it, I'd definitely be picking the judge's brains. I am not a judge. I am just an over-enthusiastic drift fan with a microphone, but that was epic. Look at that huge backwards entry from McSeed. Brings it around. Now watch this. Puts the nose of the car right in on the wall. No fear of them walls, especially. And a 92 comes in. But before this replay ends, watch this transition. And onto the wall. He put the back of that GT86 onto the wall. A full new clamshell went on that car this week, and he nearly took it off. Absolute masterclass from Ali McSpeed. Somewhere on that line, through all Ali's smoke, there is a madman. That is Hazza Al Husani, representing UAE. Let's see. I'm just scanning up my list. Hazza currently in 5th position. That's what I was thinking. Should be up the top. An 87. What can he do to try and jump up a little bit more and get himself into that 90s club. You see all these drivers pushing now, trying to get as high up that qualifying order tonight to get them into battles tomorrow. And yeah, these guys that already have safe runs up the top, they can just push that little bit harder, maybe try something different. Look at the concentration in the eyes of Hazza. This is it. He is going full Hazza. It's the last round. It is the last qualifying of OIDC 2024. Do it, my friend. Absolutely beautiful S14. Starline Marshall just telling Hazza, just letting the smoke clear, because you are going to smoke this place out of it either way, so we want to give you the best chance possible. The drivers get blinded by their own smoke, well, that's on the drivers, but here we go. Hazza leaves the line. I am excited for this one. Never go full Hazza until tonight, and we want you to go full Hazza. And look at this, wash a small bit wide as he puts the foot down now. Has that engine screaming. Hazza washing a small bit wide on the inner clip as he puts the back wheel right on that outer line. Nice job by Hazza. Transitions out to the wall. Good and deep there, but he ends up a bit on the inside. Maybe on power a small bit. I think he 100% went full Hazza on this one, because we've lost him twice in one run. And that monstrous S14, look at it. That thing is insane. You can only imagine what driving a car like that is. It's just trying to just bring you on a passenger spin, really. But yeah, has it maybe just dropping a wheel in one or two places, probably pushing a little bit too hard. Maybe has that car gripped up a little bit too much. Ooh, 87 on the first one, 72 in the second one. Yeah, probably went a little bit too wild, but hey, when you're on fifth, you're always going to do that. So okay, we'll settle back down for a very, very short bit of time, because up next we have Sebastian Fonten. Sebastian is sitting in second position with a 92. Absolutely unbelievable run for the first run. But then he's seen James come out and do a 95, so you can only imagine what Sebastian's going to do to try and push himself back up to that top spot in qualifying. The Dutch driver, years of experience, so much style and flair in his driving style. Very, very enjoyable driver to watch. Does some absolutely insane things. It's going to be interesting to see what Sebastian Fonten does in his second qualifying run. We still have no Sebastian Fonten on the line. Not sure what's going on there. Okay, we've got Sebastian on the line for his second qualifying run. 2JZ E36 BMW. 92 in his first run. What can he do to push up higher? What can he do to out-qualify James Dean? As we hear Sebastian come down. Huge look at this from Sebastian Fonten. Backwards entry, but washes a bit too wide. A lot of these drivers maybe just pushing that small bit too hard, but Sebastian is right on the qualifying line now, tucking in very nice to the wall, filling outer zone 2 as we see him coming around, getting ready for the last transition, out to the wall, filling that last outer zone, back wheel right on the outer line as he brings it over the finish. It's a good run for Sebastian Fonten, but I'm not sure if it was as good as his first one. Watch this initiation here. Massive backwards entry. So cool to watch, but definitely 2 wheels off. So that will affect his score a good bit, where the last time he tucked in right on that white line, exactly where he was asked to be. But there, look at that. From wheel right on the concrete wall. So much bravery involved in doing that. Yeah. 73.7. So no, he's going to have to stick with the 92 he got in his first run, which, look, he's going to be happy with. We will see Sebastian in battle action tomorrow night. A guy that always puts on a show for the crowd. So much flair and style in his driving. Our Starlight Marshals looking at themselves on a telly. These guys, honestly, I've worked with a lot of track teams around the world, but these guys are one of the best. They are so on the ball. Driver safety is #1 priority. Track conditions, they spot things before other people spot them. And as well, let's be honest, they start early in the day in incredible heats. The heats these guys stay out there in the full gear, fireproof gear, everything ready to go. Yeah, just really looking after all the drivers, helping them out, making sure they're exactly where they need to be. So big shout out to all the OAA track team. Okay, up next it is Benedictus Cerba. The Cerba fighter is on the line. This is the Cerba we know and love. He is back with a bang, carrying in some insane speeds around the track this weekend. So let's see how Cerba gets on, sitting in 6th with an 86. What can he do on his second run? Huge flick, massive backwards entry from Benedictus Cerba, right on that outer line. I know the judge are going to like that initiation as he comes through now, puts the nose of the Cerba fighter on the wall. Another transition, look at this. This man is on a mission. He wants that top stop in qualifying. Will he be able to do it? Oh, back of the car on the wall. Absolutely brilliant from Benedictus Cerba. Oh, I like that one now. I definitely think he will improve on his 86, but yet again, I'm not a judge. I'm just a very excited person with a microphone. Look at that initiation. Absolutely insane. Huge flick out. Now bang onto the wall. Lovely. And then this transition. Just back wheel, pinpoint accuracy. Exactly where he's meant to put it. And then one last time to go. Wall run. Wall run. Look at that. Ran the wall all the way along to the white line and then back on power exactly where he needs to be. So it's a credit to Cerba there. Some guy. So we see a shot of our gridding area. And Cerba gets a 95.3. 95.3 means he goes top of qualifying. 0.3 ahead of James Dean. That is absolutely insane. Wow. I'm really trying to save my voice for tomorrow, but I think the end of this qualifying session is going to make me lose it. That was just mental stuff from Benedictus Cerba, as we see Rinton and Dean, Daham all stare at the screen going, huh? A 95.3. It's going to be an exciting end to qualifying tonight, but we still have 9 drivers to go. And out of all them drivers, any one of them can top qualifying on any night. Any one of them can win any event around the world. Some of them are the best drivers in the world. And now they have to go get higher than that. I'm excited. If you're not excited at home, why? What's going on? Come on. We're all in this together. It's the last round of OIDC 2024. These guys are here putting on a show. Everyone said to me before qualifying when I was talking to them, so what's the plans? They're like, send it. Car's going home. End of the year. A lot of the Middle Eastern drivers, it's the end of the season. A lot of the European drivers are going home to be refreshed. So just send it. That was it. Just going to send it. Put a show on. So I cannot wait to watch. Up next we got the young man from Latvia. It is Knick-Knack. So I'm just scanning down my list here to see where Knick-Knack is currently sitting. He's sitting in 7th position. His number is 7. What is the chances of that? And he got an 85.7 on his last run. So what can Knick-Knack do to push himself up to the top of qualifying? He's just seen what Cherba's done, so he's want to do better. As we see Knick-Knack coming down the straight. Lovely initiation, thrown on big angle from Knick-Knack. Look at this, filling that outer zone perfectly. As he comes through now, puts the front of the car right on the wall. Snappy transition, full power, no fear of this insane layout. Lifting a wheel as he comes round that corner, flicks it back on the wall. This is going to be another one, a high scoring run, because Knick-Knack is a man on a mission as he comes around the last corner. Insane, another wall run that he didn't have to do, but did it for our entertainment. Deadly. Watch this now, inside clip. Puts the front wheel right in there. Flicks back, full throttle, barely lets off on that transition. As he scores a 96.3. So he's gone higher than Cherba again. James Dean must be sitting there pulling his hairs out going, are ye messing? What? We went from a 95 top to a 95.3 to a 96.3. And there's still 8 drivers to go. Knick-Knack on top. That was, and do you know what? Rightly deserved. The man is back with a bang, doing some unbelievable driving this season here, and I'm just delighted for him. Some of the practice runs he was doing this morning was just absolutely insane. Right, now we're going to get serious for a minute. Up next is Nazar Arhalvali. Okay, Nazar is a wild man in a car. Like, he does some mad things. Whatever happened on the first run, the car let him down, and he got a 0. He knows what's after happening in the last couple of runs. His spotter be telling him, he's like, dude, I know you're saying you can play it safe and you can just get in the top 32, or you can throw that bit of Nazar flair and push yourself up to the top. Risk reward is the biggest thing in drifting. That's what them 3 men up above me are looking for. Risk reward. You do something wild, they will reward you. So what do you do with your Nazar? Do you play it safe and get yourself into battles tomorrow, or do you just go full beast mode? And knowing Nazar, I think I know the answer already. I really hope whatever that mechanical gremlin was, they got that sorted. Him and his team working tirelessly on that car. Last week, after qualifying, they actually didn't leave the track. They stayed at the car all night. Nazar told me he got 2 hours sleep underneath the car because it was the only place he could lie down. That's commitment to this sport. The young man from El Salvador has a lot of pressure on his back, but as we say in Ireland, pressure's for tires. What can Nazar do here? We can hear him in the burnout box. The roars of this 180SX, a Boss S14 front on it. Oh, I'm nervous and excited. That's the best way of putting it. I am nervous and excited. Here he is coming through the Red Bull Arch there, making his way to the start line. What can Nazar Arhalvali do? Here he goes. A lot of pressure. I think we're all nervous for him. Will the car hold out? Whatever that gremlin was. Oh, big flick in. Lovely and wide from Nazar, carrying huge angle. As we see him now absolutely smoking them rear tyres off and carrying massive angle through the inner clip. Snappy transition, full tilt. This is an unbelievable run so far from the young man from El Salvador, as we see him transition back for the wall. A lot of pressure on this one run as the car washes a small bit wide through that last outer zone. Listen to the limiter passion. He loves limiter. Absolutely insane. Will it be enough to get him into battles? He is currently on a 0. It's a nervous way for absolutely everyone. I'd say he's currently stopped beside the big screen himself, waiting on his score to drop in. A 76. Unbelievable. A lot of pressure. Nazar steps up to the plate, does exactly what he has to do. And we should see him in battles tomorrow night. Wow, fair play to him. Well done, bud. Okay, we're moving back to the line. It is Egger Krogus from Latvia. He's sitting in 13th position, a 77.7 on his first run. What can Eggers do in the kebab fighter? He knows he's in battle action tomorrow night. What can he do though to get himself that top spot? Eggers wants to get up there. He'd love to jump up ahead of everyone. He wants the top qualifying. But this is going to be insane. There he is in the burnout box. We see him, kebab fighter. You can see in the gridding area there's not many left. There's 5 cars after kebab. Ahmed Al-Amri, Clint Van Oot, Juha Rinten, Ahmed Daham and James Dean. It's going to be insane. So we see Eggers coming through to the start line. Okay, Marshall gives him a thumbs up. Eggers leaves the line. The kebab fighter makes his way down, throwing it in a little bit wide, hugging that yellow line all the way around. He's doing a great job. Listen to the screams of that BMW as he makes it just a little bit wide again in zone 2. What can he do now as he comes up to transition for the wall, out to the wall? There's Eggers into the zone. Not a bad run from the Latvian driver as he brings it over the line, and a 360. We'll call it a 180 from the kebab fighter. He's tried. But yeah, that's a good run. Will it be enough to top his last score? $77 on the first, 75 on the second. So no, he doesn't top his last score. He will stay where he is, but we will see him back for battle action tomorrow night. Okay. Now we're into the top 5, and in 5th position in the championship is the local man representing Oman. It is Ahmed Al-Amri. Nissan Silvia had a tough night at the office last week, ended up in the wall, but I'm pretty sure everyone ended up in the wall last week. What can Al-Amri do? He is currently in 8th position. He got an 83.3 in his first run. What can the Omani driver do to claw up some more points, get further up that qualifying order? As we wait for Al-Amri to make his way to the start line. You can hear it from here. He's in the burnout box. Definitely the #1 ranked driver from Oman, hanging with some of the best in the world, and rightly so. He should be there. The man is every round getting stronger and stronger. Such a nice guy as well. I think a lot of people are rooting for him here. The hometown hero. Lamry leaves the line in his Nissan Silvia. Away he goes. Big flick from Lamry. As we see him now absolutely smoking the Muscat Drift Arena out of it. Front bumper right to the wall. No fear whatsoever. Lovely and wide around outer zone 2 from Lamry. As he flicks back. Not as deep on the wall as some of the last drivers, but Lamry doing exactly what he needs to do. Look at that. Pinpoint accuracy, back wheel on that outer white line as he brings it across to finish. It's a good run from Ahmed El Lamry. Beautiful run here now from the Manny driver. A credit to him. Told me there yesterday, we were just chatting in the pits, and he says he's driving an 84.3, so he does improve on an 83.3. So we would definitely see a Lamry. But yeah, Lamry told me last night in the pits his driving has improved over the years because of the standard of drivers this championship brings. He says when you drive with the best in the world, you're going to get good, and it is a credit to the organisers. They bring some of the top drivers from all around the world here to try and progress the local guys and bring them up to that level. And rightly so, as we see the last few drivers sitting there on the line. Next up, it is Clint Van Oot representing the Netherlands. 4th in the championship. What can Clint do? We see Clint, we see Juha Rintanen, we see Ahmed Daham, and then down the back, out of the car, as cool as anything, just taking it all in, is James Dean. And James Dean knows Churba just got that 96.3. My apologies, Nick Nack got that 96.3. So it'll be an interesting way to see what the machine does. But first we're going to see Clint Van Oot do what he does best, and that is absolutely put on a show. So much style, so much flair, and such a nice guy. Clint is in 10th position with an 82.7. He wants to get in that 90s club. He wants to stand there with the rest of them and go, yeah, I can do it too. I've said it before, only cool kids enter the 90s club in qualifying. It shows you that you're just that little bit above the rest. So we see Clint coming down now. Huge flicking. Lovely and wide from the Dutch driver. Look at this as he puts the foot down now, making the back of that S14 disappear in smoke. Front bumper right to the wall. Absolutely no fear whatsoever from Clint Van Oot as we see him now coming along through outer zone 2, flicking it back from the wall. I think Clint got lost in his own smoke. Something that we see, the later it gets here, it becomes a bit of an issue. The smoke sits in the middle of the track, as you can see from that drone shot. When you flick back, you need to know where you're flicking that car, and I think you'll see on the replay here, Clint puts the foot down now, absolutely smokes all the way up to the wall, but then that smoke starts to sit there. When he comes back around to go on that wall again, watch, you can just see the wobble. An 82, he does improve, it's an 84.3, bumps him up a little bit in the order. Look, a little bit of it, I don't know where it is. So I think Clint was like, I don't want to write the car off tonight. My head mechanic Myron will be given out to me. You know, Myron's had a tough 3 weeks out here maintaining his car. So he's like, come on Clint, wait till the battles at least. But no, the Dutch driver doing exactly what he needs to do. So we see him reversing into the pits there. And we move down the list. And after Clint, it is Juha Rintanen. So we see our OIDC media team throwing some cameras on the cars because they know what's coming as well. They're like, look, I don't know what's about to happen, but between Rinton, Daham and James, something special is going to happen. So make sure every car has multiple GoPros on it. As we see another media guy skipping up there, happy out the door. Look at the rubber down in that burnout box, and I can confirm that was clean this morning. So, yeah, a lot of rubber down the burnout box after one day. As we wait for Clint's smoke to clear, we're letting the smoke clear, then we're sending them into the burnout box, which means as soon as they roll to the line, it's go time. So yeah, you can see it there, the drone shot perfectly. We're seeing the smoke just push out the centre there. We want to make sure that everyone gets a fair shot, and there's no point sending them in to warm their tyres to leave them sit on the start line for a couple of minutes, so we might as well leave them sit in the gridding area. But yeah, we started out with 53 drivers. We are now down to 3, and Juha Rintanen enters the burnout box. What can he do? A 91 in his first run. Is he able to improve? Is that the best he's got? Well, we're going to have to wait and find out. Rintanen's GR Corolla is on the line. He's been standing there with the rest watching it. What can he do? Will he be happy by the end of this run? We're going to have to wait and see. As we see a lovely initiation from Juha Rintanen, doing exactly what the judges asked him. At least he was listening to the judges in briefing. As we see him transitioning. Oh, he hits the wall and it goes all wrong. Rintanen obviously pushing too hard. Very unfortunate, getting it all wrong. He holds the car, but just showing even the top drivers, you know, make mistakes. As we see an absolute beautiful drone shot. Muscat Eats, OIDC running side by side. I'm sure everyone's having a brilliant night here, and a 76 for Juha Rintanen on his second run means he will stay where he is. 91 is the best he got in him tonight. We'll have to see what he has to offer tomorrow night in battle action. Okay, and then there were two, and they're sitting side by side, both drivers strapped in their cars. Ahmed Daham, James Dean, two guys that know each other very well. Two guys actually set a Guinness World Record together for the longest tandem drift a couple of years ago up in Dubai Autodrome. Good friends behind the scene. I'm sure when the visors go down, there's a bit of a rivalry there as well, but it's going to be interesting to see. They both know what Turbo did. They know what Nick Nack did. What can they do to offer? All guys are going to battle action tomorrow night, so I'm excited to see. So we see that unbelievable 360 at the front of Daham's car. Pretty sure that's belonged to Image B, Bradley Ingleton from the UK. If it is, I will definitely be looking at that footage later on tonight, because what an angle for the camera. So much bravery putting it there as well, when we know anything can go wrong, especially with that inner clip. But the things the social media guys do just to get the footage of these absolute warriors. Look at Daham nodding the head. He knows, he's ready. A tuck of the straps, ready to go. We're excited. Daham's excited. I can hear the fans going mad. This one's going to be absolutely epic. Ahmed Daham throwing it in. Huge angle. Is he able to hold it? He is able to hold it. Putting the foot down now as he comes through clip 2. Bringing the front bumper right to the wall. That is insane, the proximity these guys are able to have with concrete blocks. No fear from Daham as he brings it around, lost in his own smoke, out to the wall with the back of the car. Wow, huge respect for Ahmed Daham. He could not see anything coming to that wall run, and he stayed committed. Look at that S14 making clouds as it goes around the Muscat Drift Arena here. Insane. Absolutely insane, and to be fair, I did not expect any less from Ahmed Daham, but I wonder what the judges thought. Look at this, lovely proximity to the wall there, an 89. He got an 89.7 on his last run. Consistency is key in this sport, and Ahmed Daham was severely consistent in qualifying tonight. We will see him in battle action, where he has a chance of fighting to be the OIDC 2024 champion. And I know Daham, he is going to push 150% to try and do that, and definitely put a show on for all our entertainments. As we wait for the smoke to clear after Daham, and I mean the whole arena is full. We only have one driver left. He is leading the championship currently. He has topped qualifying at round 1. He has topped qualifying at round 2. What can James Dean do at round 3? A 99 at round 2. He knows Nick Nack is on that 96.3. There he is, getting strapped in. Media guys starting, all cameras. Everyone in attendance is definitely getting their phone out for this one. There is something special on offer, and it is coming from the one and only James Dean. As we see the smoke starting to clear, I'm just standing up here now to have a look out the window and see what it looks like. Wow, that arena is absolutely smoked out of it. I cannot see the grandstands the far side after Daham's second qualifying run, but I know this one is going to be special. James Dean's car was really in a bad place after it left here last weekend. Him and his team plus other teams, everyone got in on that car, doing their little bit to try and help get James back out for round 3, and he is here. And he's not just here, he is here to contend for this championship. He's on top form. I've already said it, top qualifying around 1 and 2. Will he be able to do it around 3? It's going to be an interesting few minutes here. Let's see what the Irishman can do. in that car, in the burnout box, there is a beast, and that beast is about to be unleashed. He knows what's at stake. He knows he's in battle action, but he's going to do his best to top qualifying. There is championship points for topping qualifying. When we're down to the nitty gritty at the end of tomorrow night, every point could count. James, the veteran, knows that, so he is going to push 150% here to try and secure that top step. Look at the concentration in the eyes of the machine, staring at that marshal, waiting to get the signal. That S14.9 looked a lot different when it left here last week, but it's back in perfect working order. And here we go, James Dean throws it in. Huge initiation right on that back, or that white line, as we see him putting foot to floor, absolutely running the front bumper off the wall. This is unbelievable driving from the Irishman as he comes back around now for the transition through his own smoke, along the wall, dragging the spoiler. This is beautiful driving from James Dean, but will it be enough to top qualifying as we see him come around the last corner and over the finish line at 360 for the crowd? There you have it. The last car has completed qualifying, but the question is that run enough to top qualifying? What? Oh, look at that for a wall run. It's a 95.3. He improves on his last run. An absolute masterclass from James Dean. But Nick Nack has topped qualifying with a 96.3. This has been an insane night. If tonight is anything to go by, you want to be tuning in to tomorrow. We are going to be watching a masterclass. Some of the best drivers in the world are going to be fighting for that last round top step podium. Everyone wants it. Everyone's going to be pushing hard. They're going to be doing the best that they can do. I can't wait. I need to stop talking from now until battles tomorrow evening, because my voice 100% is not going to last. James Dean did everything he could, but just unfortunate, Nick Nack tops it out by 1 point here at round 3 of OIDC 2024.
نهار جديد يبعث معه أملاً جديداً لنرسم الرؤية ونصنع الإنجاز. كل نهار جديد يبعث أمجاد الأمس وطموح أمة تسابق الزمن بكل عزم وإصرار. لأجل عمان اليوم غاية وهدف. منذ أكثر من 50 عاماً من جيل إلى جيل. لأجل عمان الغد.
Body no tire.
يلا